takes out my frustration by muting somebody. Fuck you. Is it working? Beep, 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 beep. Hello? Hello? For some reason, my stream kept going live on different waiting rooms. Hello, hello, hello. My name's Babkin Baba. And today, I'm gonna pet snake, boys. Well, not exactly. Basically, the plan is, you guys will pick out a type of snake. I will do research on their enclosure and everything that they need. Decide if it is, like, a good fit. Because if it, like, I haven't looked into every single one of these snakes. I feel like in general, most of them are pretty beginner friendly, except maybe like 3 or 4 of them. But if for some reason something is like, okay, this is just not feasible, I will do another one of these and let you guys pick something else. But I am not going to, like, try and make something work if I'm like, okay, like these care requirements are just like too much for me to handle. So, after we build the enclosure, which I will be doing on stream, I'll probably do a little either, I don't know if I'll do the planning out of the enclosure also on YouTube. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll do that on Kick or something. Eventually, I'll build the enclosure on stream. We'll make sure everything works. Make sure if humidity needs to be a specific level, the humidity stays correct and the temperatures stay correct, and make sure everything works, basically. And then, after the enclosure is completely done and works, and I'm not gonna kill a snake through the temperature gradient being 105 on one side and 101 on the other, or whatever the fuck. Then we will go onto some adoption sites and we will find snakes that fit the criteria and we will apply to adopt some. And then you guys can name it eventually. It's going to be a process. It's going to be a process. We get to name the snake. Yeah, you guys can name the snake. CJ Odell, thank you. Trust me, guys. Being a big PP/𝐒𝐶𝐬𝐴v𝐵𝐵𝐵𝐵𝐵𝐵 is absolutely worth the price. Well, thank you, thank you. Vulcan, thank you. We need Pippa, the biggest snake possible, so she can get clips. We can get clips of it trying to eat her after she forgets to feed it. Thankfully, snakes are not too much of a hassle with feeding in general. There are some snakes that are a complete pain in the ass to fucking take care of. But, so, I already have a ball python. Because of her size and age, she eats every 2 weeks. So, not a big deal. I have some frozen mice and I thaw them and then I put them in her enclosure and she eats them up. Zero, thank you. Mr. Reptile is a she, by the way. Zero, thank you. Danger Noodles, let's fucking go. Wallrider, thank you. I want to say Gaboon Viper is my favorite snake. Also my birthday today. Happy birthday, Wallrider. Happy birthday, Wallrider. Every time, every fucking time, man. Happy birthday, Wallrider. Happy birthday to you. Mr. Ron, thank you. As someone born on the year of the snake and that loves snakes, this stream makes me happy. Heck yeah. Do you handle your ball python? I do. She's very, very handleable. Very, very handleable. Alright, yeah, Mr. Reptile, female. Okay. Alright. Copper Skull, thank you. Where can I check to see how long I've been a member? It says above your name. Let's get some BGM going. Is there like a snake game that has some good BGM or anything? How about Nintendogs? How about Nintendogs BGM? Dizzy Ray, thank you for the raid, Dizzy! Welcome in, everybody. My name's Pipkin. Oh, that was loud. Pipkin Pippa! And let's start the adoption process. Fuck, it's still loud. Okay, here we go. Bada-boom! So, a lot of you aren't gonna have any idea what some of these snakes are. And it would be a bit unfair to have you guys vote without properly knowing. So, we have here Western hognose snake and Kenyan sand boa. Two very strong early contenders. Oh, oops. Wait, I clicked out of it. Can I drag them? Oh, okay, I can drag them. Oh, fuck. God damn it. Okay, here we go. Oh, best thank you. Snake rattle and roll. I have prepared a list of videos that we will watch. I tried to keep them as short as possible while still looking. Hognose enthusiast, thank you. Let's go. First match easy. I tried getting some videos that were good quality and as short as possible. So most videos are about 4 minutes long. Not this one, but this one. Let's take a look.
We realized that we produced baby Vietnamese blue.
No, this is not the video. Hold on. This is not the video. Did I copy and paste? Oh, hold on. Here we go.
Well, hi there. I'm here today with a Western hognose snake and a Kenyan sand boa, which have...
This is one of my favorite channels. This is Clint's Reptiles. I'll move out of the way here so you guys can actually see the name of the channel and everything. And at the end, I will have every single video shown linked in the description with the title of the snake it was discussing. Investigate, thank you. Dear Pippo, where can I get the kind of snake where half of it is a lady and she's pretty neat and loves to buy and send super chat? What? What? Pippo, thank you. Hey Pippo, I'm stuck at working in the jail instead of on the line, so I got 10 to watch your stream today. Much love. Heck yeah! Alright, let's go!
Two of the derpiest faces in the animal kingdom. And we're gonna figure out which of these two makes the best pet reptile. And of course, to do that, we're gonna have to put them head to head.
I couldn't find many of these like head-to-head videos. And a lot of them that I could find, like there's some on Clint's channel, and then there are some on other people's channels, like this kind of video format. A lot of them were like snake versus snake, and one of the snakes I did not put on the tournament bracket because I already knew. I was like, I don't want this. I don't want to deal with this. Or some of them were so hyper specific that is like, yeah. And then there were some snakes that I really, really wanted, but they're just impossible to find. Which there is one really rare snake on here. You guys will see later. That will be a struggle to get my hands on if it wins. But it's up against some pretty stiff competition. So, I did not include rhino snakes because those are kind of a pain to find. Kind of a very big pain to find.
Snakes were on our list of 5 of the best pet snakes you could possibly get. Both of them are similarly sized, actually fairly small snakes that have females that are way bigger than the males, as we will demonstrate. Once again, females are much larger than males in both species. Even the females, which are considerably larger than the males, are still fairly small.
Cascade Ice
Both
Cranberry
of them
Pomegranate Drink.
have absolutely glorious patterns, and, as we mentioned before, really derpy faces.
Look it up! Look at how
But
stupid they both
which one
look.
is the better pet snake? Well, that's going to come down to our...
This is why this is like the first set of snakes I put on here. Because they're both really fucked up looking. So even if you don't really care for snakes, they're pretty interesting, I'd say.
3 head-to-head categories, which are awesomeness, because you wouldn't want to own it if it wasn't stinking awesome.
True.
Expensiveness, and difficulty. So let's begin with awesomeness. And let's just get this out of the way. These are both awesome. They're also both really beautiful. Personally, I think that...
They're fucked up looking. I don't know about awesome. Awesome is like a fucking pit viper. These guys are fucked up looking. Brave SJ, thank you. Also, my dad had numerals boa, who is an absolute chillest guy. Oh, very underrated species. Love being held and hanging out on your shoulders. Highly recommend. Sadly, they did not make the list. Disco Eye, thank you. I hope your love. I love your love for animals, people. I think you need.
Kenyan sand boas are just a little bit prettier than Western hognose snakes, and their morphs are cheaper. You may disagree with this, and that would be totally understandable because hognose snakes are gloriously beautiful, but my thinking is if a hognose snake ever hatched out with the pattern and coloration of a Kenyan sand boa, the hognose snake community would lose its mind. Both of them
There's
have
a big community
silly,
around
derpy
these,
little faces.
around hognose.
I personally like the hognose snake face just a little bit more than the sand boa face, but that's just my personal opinion. And to be perfectly honest, both of these faces had to grow on me. At first I didn't like either of them, and now I love both of them.
It's like an ugly dog. You have to, it's an acquired taste. You have to learn to love the ugly dog. And Pan, thank you. Love sand boas, but having them is like having a pet sandbox since you barely see them. Yeah. Kim Goblin, thank you. Derpy Snake for Derpy VTuber and Derpy Chat. What the heck?
Of them. So I might change my opinion on that in the future, who knows. They are both an awesome size. They're both pretty much identical in size. The males are both pretty much identical in size to one another, and the females, which are considerably larger, are also basically identical in size to one another. But as you'll probably notice from looking at this male and this female, they are not similarly sized between the sexes. And this is almost identical between sand boas and hognose snakes. So in both of them, the males are about this size when fully grown, and the females are about this size when fully grown, which is many times the size of the male. Females are still a very modestly sized snake, but compared to the males, they're just absolute giants.
Pretty noticeable difference, yeah.
Just a really fantastic size that they both have. Both of
Absolutely massive difference. Those were both, so these were both the same type of snake. This one on the left there is a male. This one on the right is a female. Hognose enthusiast, thank you. I will stand by that. The hognose is like the bulldog of snakes.
Giants. And it is just a really fantastic size that they both have. Both of them are really fun to handle. You'll notice I'm having a very easy time handling two snakes at the same time, and that is not always the case when I try to handle two reptiles simultaneously. In the case of both of these snakes, they're a lot like handling a much, much larger snake. They're not very wily, they don't move around very quickly, they're very methodical and slow in the way that they move, but they're very small snakes, and that is awesome. Both of them may bite. It's definitely
anything with a mouth can bite you.
Possibility with both of them that you will get bit at some point, but it's really not something you need to worry about the consequences of getting bit, even though the hognose snake is arguably venomous.
I have not been bit since I was a kid, thankfully, unless we're counting lizards. Every so often I do find a wild lizard and I always pick that shit up and I always get bit, but those don't count. Come here, Bolo, thank you. If we're getting the hog, we're naming him Crankin the hog. No snake. Oh my god.
That venom is so mild that a bite from either of these is really not a huge deal, generally speaking. Unless you have a horrible
catching
allergic
lizards.
reaction, then anything can be horrible. Between the two of them, hognose snakes are definitely the more fun to watch.
Epic, thank you. Please look up Arabian sandball.
They're not buried all the time.
Those are the ones with the those are the ones with the really, really fucked up faces. Those are pretty hard to find. Not impossible, but I don't think I'd be able to get my hands on one. Arabian sandboas, you guys probably know them from the memes because they have like their eyes are on like the very top of their head. Like, what's that one type of fish? Is it not a flounder? What are they called? Breadstick with eyes. Yeah, that's what they look like. Halibut, yeah, they look like halibut.
Substrate always, and generally speaking, all you will see of it is its derpy little face poking out, which is adorable, but not very fun to watch for a long period of time. Whereas a hognose snake is likely to be out and exploring way more often than
Chihuahua's the only thing that bites with malice.
They are buried all day long. The hognose snake wins this round of awesomeness. When it comes to expensiveness, the truth is that both of these snakes are about as inexpensive as a reptile can be. The snakes are not particularly expensive, and really you're just not going to be able to find a reptile that's much cheaper than either of these to keep. The snake is cheap, the enclosure is cheap, the heating is cheap.
I see hognoses at Petco.
They're cheap to feed. They're cheap. They're cheap snakes to keep. and that's great. Hognose
I am
morphs.
cute.
So not necessarily a wild type for either of them, but the morphs of hognose snakes are really considerably more expensive than most sand boa morphs. And because sand boa morphs are...
We are not going to be hunting down specific morphs. If you don't know what snake morphs are, basically, well, they're not exclusive to snakes. But morphs are like, you know how like with breeds of dogs or cats, what's like an example everyone might know? Like with cats, you know how you have like a gray tabby and an orange tabby and a calico, and there's like pure white cats and pure black cats and the brown tabbies and tuxedo cats. You know, there's all those different variations of cats. It's the same concept for snakes, but there's more. Well, I wouldn't say there's more of a community, but there's definitely a very strong community around snakes of people breeding them for very specific, basically like patterns and colors. And always people are trying to find like new patterns and new colors, and it's a whole big thing. Jam, thank you. You should get a Tsuchinoko. All right, you find me one.
Are considerably cheaper than hognose snake morphs. This round goes to the sand boa. Which brings us to our final category of difficulty. The truth is that both of these snakes are about as easy to keep as a snake or any reptile can be. They both do really well in both tubs and glass enclosures, which gives you a lot of options for the way that you're housing them. Just add a heat pad or tape, a thermostat, a hide, a bowl, substrate they can burrow into, and
I am biased. I do like easy to take care of pets because I do already have my hands full.
You're done. Make sure that you have a lid that fits well, but neither of these are actually like escape artists for snakes, though
nice.
All snakes, quite frankly, are escape artists because they're essentially a noodle with a head, and if they can get that head through something, the noodle is going to follow. As long as you get captive bred individuals, both of these are going to eat really well for you. I've heard of both species going on hunger strikes, but I don't think it's a major problem with either of them. It's not a problem I've really had with sand boas or hognose snakes. Pet reptiles just don't get any easier to keep than either of these, and as a result, this round is a draw. In conclusion, I don't know if you've been counting, but that actually puts us at a draw for this entire head-to-head, which has never happened before. And I'm sorry, but I cannot recommend either of these snakes over the other one. If you want cheap morphs of a snake that is already ridiculously beautiful, then you...
Do you still have the tortoise? It's not my tortoise. That thing is not mine, alright? It's just a menace. That thing is my mom's. It's a menace. Mamakin has a tortoise and some white tree frogs. Bird style, thank you. Snack!
You should totally watch this video about keeping Kenyan sand boas. If you don't mind paying a little bit more for morphs just as long as they aren't buried all day long, then you should definitely watch this video about keeping Western hognose snakes. If you can't make up your mind, I have fantastic news for you. These snakes are both cheap and easy to keep. You should just get both of them, like...
So I saw somebody ask, why are you getting more pets then? Because generally, snakes are pretty easy to take care of. Not only do snakes not need to be handled, they're also pretty cheap. The only real cost is the initial setup for them, which even that, depending on the species, you can skimp out on. There's plenty of people that keep things like Western hognoses, for example, just in bin racks, which if you don't know what that is, it's kind of like, you know what, let me just show you, because it's a bit difficult to explain. Snake breeding bins.
What if I told you that keeping snakes in tub systems and simplistic racks is actually already set up?
This is like a discussion video. I just want to show you guys. Does he not ever like cut to showing them?
reptiles, which is the most important part, of course. Well, to hit on one,
you can keep them in like tubs like this. I mean, how big the tub depends on the size of snake. And I personally would not do this. I think this is more for people that have like massive collections that are breeding for like morphs and stuff. I personally don't want to do that. So I would rather give them as nice of a setup as reasonably possible. Was that a snake Pikachu? Yeah. Why not? Because for me personally, I'd rather just give them a nicer setup. I'm just showing you guys technically can do this, right? Like, this is what I would rather do. I would rather have like a nice proper enclosure. But there are plenty of people where they just
from a bird eye view, and overall from my experience, I can tell you
keep them in tubs like that. Big mouse, thank you. Juniper Snake Short sold me on a hog nose. Nochi is so damn precious it actually hurts. We can actually see it. Yeah, I'd like to be able to see it and enjoy its life as much as possible. I'm just saying, like, this is like like, how do I say this? This is like a researched standard of living that you can provide, and they'll be just fine. Dan Morales, thank you. Just want to say thanks. You're for coming in the VTubers, that's all. Oh, thank you. I think they do need to be heated. Well, yeah. They do need heating and everything. It's not like you just put them in the tub and leave them. You know, you do have to be aware of temperature and humidity and giving them, like, hides and stuff. But, yeah. Sonata's Domon, thank you. Would you consider buying multiple snakes and sewing them together to create a hydra? No! There's one guy. He has since passed away. He has a metric fuck, or had a metric fuck ton of these snake racks. Like, you can see them in the background of his videos. If it'll load, if it'll fucking load. Man has a zoo. He does. He had like a zoo. Why is this not working? YouTube.
That you should keep your animals in a different way.
Oh, look at these are all snakes. He like so fucking many. John Dog, thank you. Hi Pippa, happy Wednesday. Hope your day was good. Thank you, thank you. Did he die from a snake bite? No, he had cancer. I personally did not like this dude. It's sad that he died. He did do a lot of good for the snake keeping hobby. I personally have a lot of issues with a lot of the stuff that he did, but I am also grateful that he helped to destigmatize snakes a bit. And I was really envious of one of the snakes he had. That's I already like talked about that, and it's a whole nother rabbit hole. And before we get too off track, we need the votes. Dun 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 dun! Chat. My fate is in your hands. You must pick between the Kenyan sand boa and the western hognose. Hognose or sand boa. I have started the poll. Pick who you want to move on to the next round. Dun-dun-dun. You really shouldn't trust us with your future. Probably not. I will show you one more thing about Western hognoses while you guys are voting. Because I think I already know what you guys are gonna vote for anyways. So this little guy is perfectly fine, by the way. They're not hurting him or anything. This is just what they'll do. If you stress them out enough. He's playing dead. He's not very good at it. But they play dead. Some of them are extremely dramatic. And it's like if they even see you, they're playing dead. The way they flip over every time. You know they're dead because they flip back over. Like him on the youth. That's what I feel like sometimes. I like him. And then for fairness, Sand Boa. Hold on. Kenyan Sand Boa. Wait. Here we go. Hogdo's enthusiasm. When I brought my girl home, she literally pissed everywhere. She's a lot better now. Aww. Possibly insane thinking that Hognose was a trauma kid for sure. Oh, it's cute, I'll admit. Pippa, it's not ever close. No? Let's see. 69% of you guys have currently voted for the Hognose snake. Tonwin, thank you. Pippa snake for real? What the hell? That's pretty cool, yeah. Sandboas are pretty cool. Sandboas are pretty freaking cool. Look at them. You'll never find them! You'll never find them! Wait, I don't think this is a video of him digging. Space Pie, thank you. It's like a possum snake. It kinda is. It kinda is like a possum snake. Alright. 10! 9! 8! 7! 6! 5! 4! 3! 2! 1! I am ending the poll at 68%! Hognose is victorious! Show your ball, you cranking the Hognose for the win. Oh my god. Alright. That means our next challengers are the Children's Python and the Ball Python. That's right. You have the smallest python up against the iconic python and snake that I already have, but it's not like you have one, you've seen them all. Alright. They're pretty crazy. They're pretty cool looking. Ball pythons, they come in a fuck ton of different colors and they're very chill. So let's take a look first up at the Children's Python with this video from Wiccan's Wicked Reptiles. Oops.
Is the smallest python.
Oops, hold on.
This is the smallest python in the world. And today, I'm going to teach you how you can take care of a children's python, spotted python, Stimson's python, or pygmy python, any of the 𝐒𝐻𝐿 family. My name's Adam, this is Jimmy, you're watching Wiccan's Wicked Reptiles, stick around.
These guys are very, very, very small. I don't know if we'll watch the whole thing. Damn, this intro just keeps going. But they're so small. They're so small, chat.
This is one of my favorite pythons in my collection, even though he is really, really small. And when I say this is the smallest python, what I mean is the genus, 𝐒𝐻𝐿. He's trying to get to the microphone. Best of luck. And 𝐒𝐻𝐿 are comprised of those species that I talked about earlier. Children's pythons are probably the most common, followed by spotted pythons, and there's Stinson's pythons and pygmy pythons.
If we can't find, if Children's Python wins, which I kind of doubt it's going to with the competition it's up against, but if by some miracle, Children's Python 1, we'll probably... If we can't find a Children's Python specifically, we'll default to something in the same genus.
All of them can be found in Australia. All of them are semi-arboreal, which is why throughout the entirety of this video, this snake will try to get to this microphone because it wants to get to the highest point. And if you remember this python from... Don't go on my sleeve. If you remember this python from that video I did just about them, rather than a care guide, you'll notice this is a much larger snake, even though it's kind of crazy to think that because it's so small. But that video's up here. Watch it come back and watch the rest of this. These guys are very slow growing. I'm very surprised. And let's just go through the sizing. These guys, if you let them grow to a full size, and it is a female because they grow a little bit larger, and you feed them really well from the hop, they're going to get to a whopping, are you ready? 4 to 4.5 feet. A python that is 4.5 feet. No joke. And they get not super big around, a little bit smaller than a ball python.
Can a smaller snake be easier to feed, or is that not necessarily true with noodles? That is not necessarily true. Some smaller snakes will only eat stuff like tadpoles or whatever, and it's like, From what
I understand, because I don't have a full-grown one, my buddy at S&S Serpentarium, thanks so much for the footage, man. I really appreciate it. Subscribe to his channel too. Does a lot of stuff on these guys. He's got some adults that are about 4-ish feet. I think 4 foot 3 inches, he said. So thanks to Sean for this footage here. I can't wait to get a full-grown, for this animal to be full-grown. And there's really nothing more to say about their size. It's a medium-bodied animal that gets to about 4 feet. Let's move on. Enclosure size.
All right. So that is a brief introduction into the children's python. On to the next one. The ball python, which is a snake pretty much everybody's seen before. Ball pythons come from the African savanna. It's a myth that they live in the jungle. Ball pythons are very shy. They are very shy. They're very cute. They're very cute. Look at them. Look at them hiding. Ball pythons are escape artists. This is pretty much every snake. Pretty much every snake is an escape artist. That enclosure is not big enough for that snake. They're called ball pythons because they roll into a ball. They do. They really like to ball up and just be cute. I don't know. They're just cute, and they like to just chill. They'll just sit there on your arm, on your shoulders, around your neck. They don't care. They're just chill guys. My favorite spots are wrists, necks, and hair buns. True. They can live up to 50 years. A lot of birthday cake. That is a lot of birthday cake. I didn't know that actually, that they can live up to 50 years. For some reason I thought 30 years. Either way, it's a long time. Keep pits on their face, let them see infrared. Don't have very good eyesight though. Aww. Ball pythons love soaking in water. This is more of if your tank doesn't have optimal humidity. If your tank's humid enough, they're as far as I know, I'm not an expert on like any snake species, but as far as I know, and I could be wrong, if your humidity is correct, they're not going to be soaking in their water. A bit stinky. Look at Blue-Eyed Lucy. I know it's just a ball python morph, but not expensive and are all white with blue eyes. I don't believe I've seen those before. They swallow their food whole. I mean, that's every snake. Well, I guess not every snake. Some snakes will chew. Adults only eat and poop once or twice a week. No chill solo maintenance. Adult ball pythons. I mean, it depends on their size. This one depends on their size. How much you feed them depends on how big they are and how old they are. Bum, bum, bum. All right, chat. You must now vote between the children's python and the ball python. Ball python, also sometimes called the royal python. snake poo is exceptional fertilizer? You know, I have no idea. I'm gonna say probably not. The kid eater. So do snakes barely need food because they're cold-blooded, or is there more to it? I don't actually know if it has anything to do with them being cold-blooded necessarily. It might. But I believe the reason why they need to eat less is because it takes them a lot longer to digest. So they're eating something really, really big, right? Usually, like with ball pythons, you feed them a mouse that's about the size of their head. So they're eating something relative to their body size that's pretty big. And they don't really move around that much. They're just efficient and can turn off their digestive tract if not in use. Alright. Right now it's a 50-50 with children's python and ball python. Oh, maybe we should bring up some more videos while you guys are voting. Let's see, children's python. Full grown. Oh, here's a video of a ball python.
I just have this little guy that sits in my
So
living
cute.
room and stares at me. Look at this. I just have this
Oh,
little
so
guy.
cute. Alright. Children python from Australia.
Check this out. This is actually a python. Everybody thinks a python is being 29 feet long and eating people, but this one's called a children python. It comes from Australia, and they're actually one of the smaller pythons in existence. Is this cool or what? Check this out.
Wow!
This is actually
We just did check it out. Are there any more little shorts? There's a reticulated python. That's the one in the thumbnail.
Check out this huge motley golden chuff.
This
She's
one's
over
not
20 feet long.
We're not doing a reticulated python. That's not going up on the list yet.
She's an albino lavender, the first one ever made. She's absolutely awesome. Whoa, yeah.
Jesus
Living
Christ.
the dream. Check.
This guy's also got a fuck ton of controversy. Way more than... Way. Like, it would not be fair to compare this guy to Brian Barczyk. Alright? I know I said I didn't like Brian Barczyk, but, like, this guy is, like... Brian Barczyk is a saint compared to this guy. But he does have some cool snakes. Hell, like, you rigged? Is it rigged? Let's see what you guys have voted. Snake Hitler. He's not quite Snake Hitler. It's still at 50%. Chat. Chat. Stranger Things, thank you. 30 months. Also, Pippa would get eaten by a python that big. Small rabbit would never make it. That doesn't you. If you glue blue jay wings to a snake, you can have your own amphitheater or 𝐏𝐻𝐿. Just saying it's an option. What the hell? Flip a coin. All right. Hold on. Coin flip. Hold on. Children's. Okay, I'll end the poll. Okay, children's python or ball python. Alright. I'm gonna flip it, chat! Boom! Oh, wait! Wait, the poll was 50... Oh, the poll was 50 and 49%. How does that make any sense? Whatever, children's python won the coin flip anyways! So... Alright. Children's python moves on to the next bracket. Dun, 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 dun. 1% margin of error, I guess so. That's so weird. So, Halloween, the black rat snake, and the corn snake. Da, 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 da. Happy saying thank you.
This is
got back from a date to this masterpiece of a stream. Many blessings, Pippa. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, corn snakes are incredibly popular. Incredibly popular. These are like one of the go-to pet snakes. You see them absolutely everywhere. But try not to let your bias get in the way, because black rat snakes are pretty cool too. Hognos enthusiast, thank you. I need to head out. Got work at 6. Happy not be round 1. I'll catch the VOD tomorrow. Thank you, thank you. I hope you have a good day at work.
This is Angie, an adult black rat snake.
This is Richie, an adult corn snake.
Today, we're going to be showing you the similarities and differences between these two incredible species.
Dun, 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 dun. Whoa. It's Rinkou memes. I thought it looked kind of like Yandere Dev.
Now you might not
Doesn't
know
it kind of look like a young Yandere
but
Dev?
black rat snakes and corn snakes are a lot more similar than many people think. Actually, both of these are considered rat snakes, and they're in the exact same genus. So both of these are in the Pantherosis genus, which is just the scientific name for the rat snakes.
Great game for thank you. It has juice.
So obviously, black rat snakes are very dark in coloration, especially at adult size, whereas corn snakes are kind of that light orange color. Now Bailey will tell you more about why corn snakes have that coloration later, but another thing you'll notice about black rat snakes is they're significantly larger than corn snakes. Now, while there is lots of size overlap between the species, most people agree that black rat snakes do reach larger adult sizes.
Yeah, Yandere Dev got the good ending.
Mature black rat snake is probably about 4 feet long, whereas Richard is a mature corn snake, and he's about 3 feet long.
Wow.
But there's also a pretty big difference in kind of the girth, so you see that the black rat snake is a lot more thick than Richard is, which is
How about saying thank
just
you?
reflective of their lifestyle.
I'm jealous.
So black rat snakes are non-venomous constrictors. They mostly prey on rodents, and they can prey on pretty large rodents, so it's not impossible for black rat snakes to eat forest animals like squirrels. And that is why they have this added size, to give them the ability to eat those larger forest-dwelling mammals. But Bailey will tell you about why corn snakes are a little bit smaller and a little bit different looking than black rat snakes.
Okay, so corn snakes are actually smaller and different color because they live in a different region. They are most known for living in coastal regions, so which is why they are kind of this orangey color, because it's easier for them to blend in with their habitat there, and they're a little bit smaller because they eat smaller prey.
Got a black rat snake that lived in your own yard. Hell yeah.
Like cousins from different parts of our state. Black rat snakes are more common in the Piedmont Mountains, whereas corn snakes are more common in the coastal plain. However, both of these species can actually be found in all parts of North Carolina, which is why it's important that they have slightly different ecological niches. Obviously, both of them will eat rats and lizards and things like that, but the added size and bulk of the black rat snake means they can take larger prey like squirrels, whereas the smaller size of the corn snake enables it to chase and survive off of smaller prey like mice and lizards.
Okay, so both these snakes are harmless to humans, pretty much. They have very small teeth. They won't harm you if you don't.
How else do you say it? Niches. Niches.
Harm them. So if you see them in your backyard, you know, just let them go. They will eat your rats for you. So yeah, just really don't. They're just harmless, peaceful animals, as you can see.
Alright, now just to prove to you how calm, cool, and collected these snakes are, we're gonna let our little siblings come in and have a turn.
The fucking music just cutting them off. Alright, I think that was enough. These snakes are pretty similar. And one's already really well known. Basically, one's bigger. That's about it. Black rat snake. Or corn snake. Who would you guys like to see move on to the next bracket? Corn snakes are pretty, they are. But I like the face on black rat snakes. They're both pretty neat. Mo bigger, mo better. It's gonna be another tie. Please stop tying. Please stop making it be a tie. Why? Why do you guys keep doing this? Oh my god. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. How is it? Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Let's see. What is wrong with YouTube? 50% black rat snake, 49% corn snake. What? What? Okay. Black rat snake moves on to the next bracket. All right. All right. Next one, Hognose. Where we already did Hognoses and they won their bracket. It doesn't round or do decimals. It's so silly. Mr. Hero, thank you. Corn snake voters, stay in line. The next one is milk snake, not to be confused for coral snakes, and the California king snake. Now, I actually had one of these when I was younger. I had a California king snake, and it bit me, so Mamakin sold it. Pour one out for my homie. His name was King, because he was a California king snake. All right. Milk snake versus king snake.
Hey everyone. So I wanted to talk a little bit because someone asked me a question. What's the difference between a milk snake
Wait, thank you.
and a king?
Yeah, but the videos are cool and all, but if the snakes are not gonna be flipping when you poke it, chances are people will vote whatever, so 50-50 every time. Did the Hognose really win Rule of Cool with that? Billy Bases, thank you. A snake house divided against itself cannot stand. I've got to let you milk snakes and bring the boys to the yard.
There isn't actually a whole lot of a difference.
Another one of these.
So, this is Iota. She is our female
Cute.
albino tangerine Honduran milk snake. So really the difference
Crazy
between
ass
milk
morph.
snakes and king snakes is that milk snakes are just a species of king snake. So all of them are in the genus Lampropeltis, which if you've watched some of the other king snake videos, that's the genus that make up the king's milk snakes.
Every snake person's a fucking nerd. Born again retard, thank you for the $20 reduce. Pippa, I'm gonna go catch the most retarded snake I can find in my yard and call it Pippa. Please do not take snakes from your yard. If you want a pet snake, you can probably find one for free on Craigslist. Including retarded ones. You don't have to take them out of your yard. Xanatos, thank you. If you weave a few snakes together, you can make a nice wig for Medusa cosplay. Well, those do, thank you. Chet has exactly one brain cell and all it knows is trolling. Don't give us polls for this reason.
She's only over 40. You okay there, little one? She's a little chilly, but she's just, for whatever reason, she decided to just hang out on the cool spot for a while. So she's just going to be cruising on now that she's up against this warm body. There's over 40 species of king snakes, which include the milk snakes. And of those milk snakes, there's, I think, 22 or 24 subspecies.
So this is the
of
milk snake.
snakes. So the Lampropeltis genus, what I mentioned before, that's the Latin name. And what that translates to, roughly, is shield belly. So it's a little harder to tell on her because of her morph. But if you look at her belly, it's pretty shiny. So shiny shield belly, kind of a rough translation.
I didn't know that.
That's the Lampropeltis. And if you look at really any of the species of king snakes, if you look at their underbellies, it is pretty shiny as opposed to like a lot of the boas and ball pythons, you know, excluding like the IMG boas or whatever. They're kind
Runs with feathers, and you caught a couple black snakes rat baby making in my backyard a couple years ago. Really weird process. I also heard them called king snakes locally. Oh, are they? WD Sonia, thank you. It's my birthday today, Pippa. Here's a super for you. Happy birthday to Sonia. Happy birthday to Sonia. Happy birthday to Sonia. Happy birthday to you. $5, thank you. Hello, Pippa and Kapipi. This is a perfect stream for me. I'm moving into my first house soon. I've been thinking of getting a pet snake to keep me company in my new home. Well, hell yeah. Keep watching.
of a pale looking color in comparison with ball pythons are usually pure white, and you've latched onto the table, little one. But that's really about the only differences.
How do you tell if a snake is stupid?
A different species
They're all pretty
of
stupid.
The genus Lamprobeltis. So really, they're kind of cousins, I guess you could kind of say. Kind of like how boa imperators and boa constrictors. They're both still boas, but they're two entirely different species. So once you go in and look at the milk snakes, that's where you get the difference, like the Hondurans, the blacks, the Nelsons, the Puebloan milk snakes, and then the king snakes, they're just as variable as milks, because, you know, the Nelsons, they're looking at around the 2 to 3 feet range. For the most part, they can get a little bit bigger, I shouldn't just say in general, but, and then like the Hondurans and the blacks, which are huge, arguably some of the largest species of the Lamprobeltis genus, which, without exaggeration, frequently get over 6 feet long. I'm not exactly sure how long Iota is here, but she's probably around.
That's a long-ass snake! Mr. Belfast, thank you. The boom slang is a great beginner snake if you can handle it, which you can't do, so for the love of God, please don't get one.
5-ish feet, maybe a little bit longer. It's hard to tell, she never really stops moving, but that's really about the only difference. And like, so I said that they're very variable. The king snakes, because there are more species of what is called king snake versus milk, they're even more variable, which we talked about in the previous video about are king snakes the best ones. I mean, you have some like the scarlet king snakes, which are usually under a foot in length.
This is a lot of nerd speak.
And Florida. The care is, for the most part,
bust out the king snake.
Put them together unless you're planning on breeding, and even then, I would keep an eye on them.
California king snake.
So you don't have any incidents. But
don't keep snakes together. He's right. Snakes will fucking eat each other. So, here's a video of no. What the hell? Oh man, them fighting. I don't want to see that shit. Here. Here's a cute one.
So today I'm going to be talking about king snakes. I currently have 3 king.
Even if they're the opposite sex, I mean, if they're the opposite sex, they'll probably breed. They might not. It's not uncommon for them to try and eat each other anyways.
King snakes. A Florida king snake.
Ah, pretty.
A California king snake.
See, this is what's on the vote.
And a Puebloan milk snake. Before I get into any care and husbandry, I just want to say if you're thinking about getting a king snake or any kind of snake, please do your research first. I know it's...
Yep. Alright! Shut! You've gotten to see a little bit of them! You learned what Lamprobeltis means! And now, you will vote for the California king snake or the milk snake. It is time to decide! The leche snake. Can you milk the milk snake? I would not advise it. I don't think you can do that. No. Never California anything. The California king snakes are cute. Here's a video of one. No copyright, please. Wow. This one looks like he has a little hat. I don't think he was milk snake deadly for lactose intolerant people. Maybe. Milk snake. Ta-da! The mascot of the football team I support is red, black, and white coral snake, so I have to vote for the milk snake. Need snake milk? No! Alright. They look almost identical. They do. Same genus, though. Alright, guys. Whoa! Alright. The votes are in. Almost. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, And with that, we have finished off the left side of the bracket. Mostly. Like the first round of the left side of the bracket. Now, the hognose versus the children's python. So in case you were not here for it, we'll do a little refresher on the hognose snake. Oh, I'm so tired. No! No! Aww. Bad thinking my milk snake brings all the boys to the yard and they're like, it's better than yours. Damn right, it's better than yours. I can teach you, but I have to charge. Thank you, Madrook. Alright. And then the children's python. There you guys go. Pretty iconic looking snake, I'd say. I'd say visually, this is one of my favorite snakes. They're pretty freaking cool looking. They're pretty freaking cool looking. How big do hogs get? Depends if it's male or female. The females get pretty big. The males stay not as big. I'm not good with exact measurements. Alright. I will start the poll up again. Hognose or children's python. Let's see who you guys vote for. Crank into victory. The drama club snake versus small. They just wanna hug. Python for children. A python for children. I'm very upset that she still hasn't clicked on that video of a ball python and giraffe cosplay. What? Oh, this? They are really cute. Oh, that's not real. That was fake. Ball pythons don't come in pink. You can't get pink ball pythons. Oh no! What the fuck? That was so fucked up. Oh, they are so fucking cute. God, they're so fucking cute. No, I can't get traction. Oh man. They're so cute. They're so cute. Alright. Well, I guess I can leave that playing. With an overwhelming 72% of the vote, Hognose is victorious. Obviously. Puzzle personality of a bit of mice is crazy, yeah. Alright. 72% of you guys voted Hognose. And so, he will continue on to the next round. Which means it is Black Rat Snake versus Milk Snake. Black Rat Snake. We'll bring up another video of them. What do you think, yo? Here's an example. And for me to pick up a random snake in the backyard, what's the worst that could happen? Don't do that! Oh wait, no, that's a Mexican black king snake. That's not... Those are also on the list! But this is not what they look like. I mean, the rat snake. Wait. Yeah. Wow. Ideally, you should not just pick up and handle wild snakes. But man, these guys are massive. These guys are so big. Wow.
I thought he was another racer, but you can tell because he's still here that he is not. That's a really pretty individual.
Pretty
really
cool,
nice
pretty cool.
Snake. This is actually the first adult black rat I've seen all year long. Which is exciting.
Fucking ah! Ah!
Okay.
You piss him off! Just fucking grab him.
Hey girl.
Fucking grab him.
Here. Just checking out the camera.
Oh my god.
Let's move her off the trail. Oh.
Motherfucker acted like he was gonna strike you and then just chilled. Alright, the other one is Milk Snake. Alright.
In the full video I posted last Monday, my biggest snake, Cleo, my red-tailed boa, hung out with me on this chair the entire time I filmed, so I thought it would be fun
This
to
is
give
not
one of
a
my
red-tailed
smaller
boa.
snakes an opportunity to hang out with me on the chair. But the thing is, milk snakes are a lot more active than boas, so Lucy here wasn't as content to just sit back and chill as
wants to
Cleo,
go
my boa,
everywhere.
was. You can probably tell from how she reacts to being touched.
I
and
don't
all
think
her
he's speaking of
jerky
picking up wild
movements
snakes. Have you
that
seen the video
Lucy has
catching
a lot
rabbits with
less chill than
snakes?
Cleo, my boa.
I have
Which
not.
pros and cons,
I don't
the
want
pros
to.
are milk snakes and more active species tend to hold the interest of children who might get them as pets for longer than say a snake like a ball
No
python
touch.
or even a boa constrictor that's relatively much less active.
Oh, so
they
flighty.
also don't get anywhere near as big as boa constrictors, making them a more appropriate pet for most people. But regardless of what species of snake you get, know
No
that they're
touch.
not a short-term pet, and many species can live in excess of 20 years. Hey,
Alright. Start a poll between the black rat snake and the milk snake. Let's see who you guys vote for. Oh. This song fucking sucks. Also, I think that's the first time I've heard... I think that's the first time I've ever heard... Wait. Are you telling me the sticking out your gat for the Rizzler song is from this? What the hell? What the fuck? Okay. Both versions suck. I don't think I like either, chat. Wow. This one is so pretty. This one is so pretty. It's got like ASCII art gradient. Meme version is a huge improvement. The meme version is an improvement, but not by much. Alright. Let's see what you guys have voted. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bum, 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 bum. With 44%, the rat snake loses. And with 56%, the milk snake moves on to the next round. Do-do-do-do. And now it comes down to a fight between champions before we get to the other side of the bracket. Who will win? The Western Hognose or the Milk Snake? Hognose or Milk Snake? Who will you guys vote for? I think I already know who. I think I already know who you guys are gonna vote for. Yeah, this is so tough. This is so tough. Oh wait, hold on. I've shown you guys them playing Dead. Wait, there they go! No, not this song! Hi, Mango. Mango's looking for a spot to dig. Andre Scarlet, thank you. I want to use this milestone thing to say thanks for letting us pick your next pet, 𝐒𝐴𝐵𝗫𝗏. Not everyone trusts their audience so much. I mean, it's pretty hard to fuck up a snake. When it's all like beginner friendly snakes. I mean, there's a few on here that aren't so beginner friendly, but they're still not like crazy. Yeah, it's kind of dumb. It's so cute. Hognoses are very good snakes for people that are scared of snakes. Because while pythons still have like very much like that snake look to them, hognoses, like, they still look like snakes, obviously, but their faces are like chibi-fied, you know? If somebody's willing to get past their fear of snakes, I think hognoses are like a good, like, look at it, it's got like a big head and big eyes, and it's kind of fat. Hey, Pom, thank you. If the hognose wins, you must tell Mari _ and you're cranking your hog. Oh my god. Oh, the best thing you. I love Metal Gear Hognose vid. Metal Gear Hognose? What is Metal Gear Hognose? Oh, is it this? Hold on.
Snake, are you okay? Snake? Snake!
Leo, thank you. Somebody should stick to locally sourced snakes. I like the noisy ones that hide under rocks. I'm not grabbing a snake out of my yard, man. Why does this keep coming up? This is public art. What the fuck? All right. Oh, another one. Snake death meme. No!
Snake, are you okay? Snake? Snake!
All right. Let's see what you guys voted. Yeah, 68% of you guys voted Hognose. Not really a surprise. 68% of you voted Hognose, and thus milk snakes must stay behind in the bracket. This should come as a surprise to literally nobody. Alright, getting back into snakes that look like normal snakes. We have the Baird's rat snake and the Mexican black king snake. Not too unlike competitors we've seen before. Why am I typing this in? I have videos prepared. Alright.
What is going on, guys? This is Justin with Palmetto Coast Exotics. I wanted to do a video on Baird's rat snakes. This is a species that is wildly underrated in my opinion.
Dun, 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 dun.
Super cool snakes. I really don't understand why people don't keep them more often.
Yeah, this is a pretty weird looking snake,
I'll kind of go into detail on how I keep them and why they're so awesome. So stay tuned. Alright, so here I have... this is one of my small neonate bears.
Thank you. You live on the edge and get a viper.
No! Bloodlines. I got it recently.
Going again, retard. Thank you for the $5.
So this is what they
thank
look like
you.
as babies. They look a lot like kind of your average run-of-the-mill yellow rat snake as babies, or something very similar. But as you'll come to see, they actually go through a pretty dramatic color change from the time they're babies until they're adults. And this one actually just ate the other day, like yesterday, so I'm trying not to handle her too much. So these guys, like I said, they go through a pretty substantial color change from the time they're babies until they're adults. They're native to southwest Texas, into northern Mexico, and then there's a couple...
To clarify, you might not want to handle a snake after they've just eaten, because the potential stress of handling them can affect their digestion, and in general, it's better to just let them sit and digest. Like with a regular person, you know, you might, after you eat, want to just kind of like sit and relax and let your body do the work. Crispy Bacon, thank you for the $5. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can they die from it? I guess potentially they do throw up. They don't always throw up, but they can throw up from it. And I guess, like, potentially it could get stuck in them while they're throwing up. It's more of just really bad for them to do it. Let it burn, thank you. Did you miss the... Did you miss the Taken species? Pretty well known. I don't know those. I've never heard of those.
A population or two in a mountain range kind of more south deeper into Mexico, which it's argued right now that should be a separate subspecies. But I feel like the subspecies debate kind of never ends. But anyway, so this is my this is one of my four. I have
the snakes are
this
free. Just grab them
female,
now.
another male that's the same size, and then I have another pair that's small adult size that I'll show here in a minute. And so, one of the nice things about this species is how mellow they are. Times, like my bigger female, she can be a little. Two adults or 2-year-old. This guy's very mellow. He's very inquisitive. Everything smells like a female now, so he's probably getting excited. But once these guys reach adulthood, these stripes that you see towards the back end are gonna pretty much fade away. Or not the stripes,
what a just phenomenal
saddles and
angle
stuff
on
you see,
this
like
guy.
right here where my finger is, those will be faded away. And then you get some adults that are actually entirely silver. There's a certain bloodlines where the entire snake is like...
All right. And a Mexican black king snake is our next one. Dun, 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 dun.
Today we feed one of my newer additions, my Mexican black king snake. I've had her for several months now, and she...
Couldn't do this without showing you guys a feeding video. If you're uncomfortable with seeing this kind of thing, chat will spam emojis. Chat will spam mouse emojis when everything is over. Zodiac, thank you for the chillies, I mean. Alright.
Like almost all other king snakes, has a huge appetite, but I wanted her to go into the light, so I led her over here, and then... There we go. She very dramatically strikes and wraps it. Being a king snake, she's full of drama. But she eats really well, so she should grow really fast for me. Now, king snakes have the defense mechanism, which I call the default defense mechanism, where they rattle their tails when they're either excited, sometimes when they're eating, or when they're maybe a little irritated or nervous. I am trying to use my hand here to show you how big she is, since it's hard to get a perspective. See, she's really small.
Stop spamming the emojis! Wanna get retarded, thank you. More, let's go! Oh, there's the tail rattle. Wow.
And that's the last time I bug you, I promise.
So fucking cool. Meanwhile, ball pythons, you bug them while they're eating and they're like, I don't want it anymore. Actually, can you not watch me while I eat? I need you to be in a different room. I don't even want to smell you in proximity to me while I eat my meal. In fact, could you possibly like leave the entire house and make sure the light is exactly how I want it, and yeah. And without an implosion, thank you. This is the election we've all been waiting for. The Highland Juggalo, thank you. Eat a stuffradish.
But don't worry, this doesn't stress her out too much because she's so preoccupied with her food that she will not let it go for anything. Mexican black king snakes are native to the northern parts of Mexico, as well as small portions of...
The mouse was the wrong color. Dude, some snakes are genuinely like that. Fun fact. There are some snakes that are such picky eaters that if the mouse is like either a specific color or just any color different from what they usually eat, they won't eat it. They would rather starve to death than eat a mouse of the wrong color. The factory, thank you. I enjoy noodles and take this money for the first mouse feeding. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What the fuck? Yep.
Arizona. You can find them in very dry, kind of rocky environments. And where they live in Arizona, they're often hybridized.
Oh, snakes got autism.
With the California king snake. Most of them are not pure blood Mexican black king snakes. These snakes do not change color. They are just as jet black as adults as they are as younger snakes like she is. By the way, I need a good name idea for this one. I just haven't found the right name for her, so if you have any good ideas, please comment below. She has been a wonderful snake. I got her in a kind of package deal with some other snakes some guy was selling, and I wasn't originally planning on keeping her. I just had to purchase her along with the others. But she's really started to grow on me, and
oh, my vet tech friend was just telling me about the snake they have at their clinic. Went on a hunger strike because she got offered the wrong kind of mouse. Not our usual. Yep. Snakes are Snakes are not scary pets. Owning snakes is kind of like owning a very... Well, it depends on the snake, because they all have different personalities. Even the snakes of the same species can have drastically different personalities from each other. But a lot of the time, it's like taking care of like a very delicate, but also kind of hardy. Like they're very snooty. Like having a very snooty, oh man, I had like an example and then I lost it. They're snooty. They're snooty and they'll surprise you. They're not what you would imagine. If you've never had snakes before, they're not what you would imagine they're like. Lopsided moths, thank you. Ball pythons and hognoses are very good choices for snake newbies. Ball pythons are much bigger and quite chunky, but are slow and generally chill. True.
And I've realized there is quite the demand for Mexican black king snakes right now, so I'm going to raise her up, find a male, and eventually breed them in the future. So in the meantime, I get to just enjoy her company and watch her grow like a weed with how often she's eating. I give her a fuzzy twice a week, and when she gets a little bit bigger, like when she's on small adult mice, then I'll lower her feedings to about just once a week. Despite having such a large appetite, she's actually a really friendly snake. Most Mexican black king snakes are really handleable, especially if you socialize them at a young age, but because of their docile temperaments, usually, they make really good pet snakes. And you can't deny they are just gorgeous with that patternless black color. Mexican black king snakes also make pretty good pets because they don't get terribly large. They get around the size of a corn snake, and males, like most other species of snakes, do tend to stay smaller than females.
You're saying that for my first snake, I should get a ball python? I think you should get whatever you have reasonable access to. That also comes with like a wealth of information behind it, if that makes sense. Like, if you, like, I don't recommend just like going to a pet store and buying a snake. I would personally recommend, if you want to get your first pet snake, what you should do is you should find a reptile breeder in your area. And normally I would advocate for adoption, but for a first-time reptile owner, I think going to a like local pet shop that is run by like a reptile breeder. So how do I explain this? So there's like regular pet stores, right? Like Petco. I don't recommend going to those. I recommend looking up in your area like reptile store type pet stores, and going in, talking to the people there, because they're always extremely knowledgeable on reptiles, and you know, telling them like what your lifestyle's like, what you're looking to invest in this, you know, like, do you want something that you can handle a lot? Do you want something that you don't want to handle at all? You just want something that like looks pretty. What are you comfortable feeding it? Because if you don't want to handle frozen mice, or even potentially live mice, then you might be looking at potentially not getting a snake, or getting something that is a bit more intense to take care of. There are like insectivores and snakes that eat tadpoles and stuff, but basically talk with them. Talk to a reptile storekeeper. Let them guide you towards a good beginner snake. Not every reptile store owner is going to be super ethical, and they might try and pawn off something expensive on you. 99% of reptile storekeepers are good people that care a lot about their snakes because they helped to create them. They're usually breeding these animals themselves, and so they have a bit more of an emotional attachment to them. So talk with them, see what they recommend, probably do some research on your own. Don't just jump right into it. Make sure you got the enclosure set up and everything. Ideally, they'll help you with that, like picking out what you need for it. And then if they're down with it, and I'd say most are, you can ask for their phone number or their Facebook page, and then, or Instagram. Well, for some reason, a lot of reptile people like to use Instagram specifically. I don't know why. once you have like their personal contact information, then when you get the snake, you can ask any questions that you have and send them pictures and stuff, and basically have like a wealth of information from somebody who does this professionally, right? This is how they make their living and everything. They're not some randoms on the internet, because here's one of the problems with reptile keeping is there's really all sorts of people in this hobby, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but there is a lot of misinformation online, so you have to be careful. Yeah. I would talk to the people that actually keep them full time, because they tend to know better. Oh, well, thank you. My lifestyle is watching VTubers. What snake do you suggest? Well, if you're like home all day, then maybe something like a ball python, because you can handle them a lot. If that's something you want to do, like you can just chill at your computer with them hanging on you. Here's some Brayden, thank you. Why get a bear like Russia? What? But yeah. If you can't find a reptile store near you, my next suggestion would be a ball python. And I know this is going to be painful for a lot of you, but I would suggest going to Reddit. There's a subreddit on there called r/ballpythons. I think is how I think that's the name. It might be a little bit off. Might just be r/ballpython. I don't know. But on their Sticky, they have a very, very good resource guide that will tell you everything that you need to know. I know. I'm sorry, but they have a really, really good guide on there. And the subreddit itself isn't too bad, because pretty much any question anyone has, they're like, go look at the care sheet guide. Washa, thank you. The stream has convinced me to get my first snake. Tomorrow morning I'll go to the National Zoo's reptile house and steal my delivery one. What the hell?
So if you're looking for a snake that'll stay around 3 to maybe 3.5 feet, then a male Mexican black king snake would be a great option for you. But there you have it, my Mexican black king snake.
I should have just let her finish.
Currently unnamed, but I'm sure you'll have many great suggestions for me, and I look forward to seeing them in the comments.
So cute. Dara, thank you. My uncle got evicted because his boa ended up in the neighbor's shower. Worst part is they put down the snake too. No! Well, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that. If you guys enjoy rage bait and you want to be mad, there's videos. There's a video of a guy's snake being put down by law enforcement that was pregnant. It was a pregnant snake. Bro, thank you. Snakes can be wildly temperamental, even between snakes of the same species. A young anaconda fell into my care, and I was lucky he was the nicest snake I ever handled. They are generally a very aggressive species. So I have heard. So there's a rat snake and Mexican black king snake. Someone that was super valuable, yeah. There's actually a lot of rage bait with snakes. Snakes really go through it, chat. Snakes really go through it. It was worse, it was a legal species too, so they had no right to kill it. Yep. He had warned them, it was there 5 times, yep. I hate rack users. I don't hate rack users because I like snake discovery, and snake discovery does use breeding racks. But for me, it does very much like toe the line of like, at what point is this more about hoarding and having a collection over or versus giving an animal the best life you can give it, you know? Right guy, thank you. Have you seen a snake fart? It startled me when I first witnessed it. Like the squeaking noise? Why have a snake and give it a shoebox to live in? how I feel. I'm glad they give it the $10. I have a carpet python about 2 meters long that hangs out around the feed bins. Can I make friends with him, or will he always try to bite me? You could potentially make friends with him. Rex are a bit much. I think so. How big do these guys get? I'm not good with remembering like exact measurements because I can never remember how much like an actual foot is. But not that big. They don't get that big. Was it like between like 4 and 5 feet, I think. King snakes aren't so big. What is roughly a foot? If you're American, you should know. I'm not good. I'm not good with that. Kinda or something. I don't know. I know like how big they get, but I don't know how to like quantify it. JC Hansman, thank you. The $10. Return of Corporal Pet Guy. Vet every pet store. Some mom and pops are great, some are horrible. Same with Corpo stores. Always ask for the snake expert at a mom and pop or corp stores and research species. True. There are some stores. I've gone into... I don't know why I paused the music. I've gone into... I keep talking about Petco, but it was a Petco. I've been into a Petco that had a guy that like he was an avid snake collector himself. He didn't work there, but his wife worked there. And so he was always like hanging around and helping out. And he himself had like 40 or so snakes. So very, very, very knowledgeable dude. I'm worried about snakes, especially when I remember those stupid government agents that killed the guy's python by accident. How many pineapples long, Pippa? How many? How tall is a pineapple? I don't buy pineapples. I'm gonna say... like... 10 soda cans. Misaki Live, thank you! Like for the snakes. When I was a child, I wandered into my neighbor's garage and found out he had a constrictor so large the garage itself was its enclosure. It ate cats. That's fucked up. Alright. With 70% of the votes, you guys have chosen the Mexican Black King Snake! Da-da-da-da! Sorry, Obaman Black King Snake! Dun-dun-dun! Next up! A garter snake or a Brazilian rainbow boa? I'm really hoping Brazilian rainbow boa doesn't win, but it's pretty unlikely. These guys are beautiful, but they get massive. So, let's check out. But they are beautiful. If I had to put up with a big snake, I could... I think I could tolerate the rainbow boa.
Next Pets here. A lot of people ask me why I keep garter snakes as pets. So today, I'm going to give you 10 reasons why I think garter snakes make such fantastic pets, snakes, for a lot of people. Number 1, I'm mostly diurnal, and as it happens, so are garter snakes. They're out and about when I am, so during the day they're basking, they're climbing, they're exploring, and they're a joy to watch. Number 2, garter snakes are inquisitive. They'll often see you coming from across the room and come right up to the front of the enclosure to see what you're doing.
I had these when I was younger. I did get them out of the yard. I had like a little like 10-gallon tank. And every so often, whenever I found a garter snake, I think I used to call them garden snakes because I didn't know they were garter. But I would find garter snakes and I would keep them.
They'll investigate objects in and outside of their enclosure, And when I open the door, mine will often climb right out of the
me too,
enclosure,
same,
onto my hand and up my arm, even when they aren't interested in food. In that way, they're a bit like the serpentine version of emerald tree skinks. Number 3. Garter snakes can become very tame. This does depend on the species, how you handle them, how
I would be like playing in the back creek and stuff, and I would just like see them zip across the water. Which is fucking crazy. These snakes can swim. They can fucking swim. So they would swim across the water and I'd just yoink. And I'd bring them inside. And then every so often I would like take them outside back again to like play with them. And usually I'd lose them. Oh, thank you. Chat, garter snakes are the best for 24/7 stream cam that we can we will force people to set up. Aria, thank you. My mom's cats usually brought in live garter snakes. I'd give them water and let them go right after. Aww.
Frequently you handle them, and individual temperament, but most become quite accustomed to handling. Number 4.
There's always been a
snakes
menace,
are
yeah.
very communal. Many snake species should never be kept communally. There are some snake species that will tolerate conspecifics to some degree, but garter snakes often seem to do better when they're kept communally.
Is this real? Is this true? Do garter snakes... Is this true? Do garter snakes really do better in groups? Yes? I had no idea.
Research has shown that garter snakes form social bonds, which they will remember even after long periods of separation.
What?
I'll put a link down in the description to an...
What the fuck? That's so unusual for a snake. Psychofire, thank you. The snake can't lift its head. Does it have a reptile dysfunction? There actually are some snakes that, well, I'm thinking of a specific one. There's the spider morph of ball pythons, which have difficulties with their balance. And so they do have a reptile dysfunction. Why they usually die, because they like hit their head against stuff because they can't aim for their food. Born again retard, thank you. Oh, so it's do as I say, not as I do, huh, Miss Snake Grabber? I was a kid!
An article about that. If you keep mixed sexes of garters together, they will almost certainly breed. But if you don't want to breed them, same-sex groups usually get along very well. In fact, you can even keep same-sex groups of different species of garter snakes together.
What
of course,
the hell?
you should avoid keeping mixed sexes of different species or subspecies of garters together, as they can, and most likely will, interbreed and make the gene pool rather muddy. Another thing to keep in mind when keeping garter
do not
snakes
Google garter snake hibernation
is to exercise caution while you're feeding them. Garter snakes have a mantra when it's time to eat. It goes something like this. I'll have what that other snake is having. Even I have to grab it and pull it out of its mouth. And or swallow its head.
What the hell kind of mantra is that, brother? Himawari Kotetsu, thank you. I remember getting garter snakes and crawl snakes confused. Terrible pet idea. What the hell?
To minimize problems, you can offer big plates covered in very small pieces of food, or feed each snake in a separate enclosure, or tongue feed individually outside of the enclosure.
So garter snakes in BC and sadly it's illegal here to go outside and take them home. Shouldn't take them home.
Garter snakes are a manageable size. In fact, you can choose size to some extent, as some species in the hobby get much larger than others. Lake Chapala garter snakes are on the larger end, reaching up to about 4 feet, about 121 centimeters, or possibly even larger. There is also quite a pronounced difference in size between males and females. Ruby here, a female red-sided garter snake, is around 40 inches long, or about 101 centimeters.
Pretty.
And Rufus, a male of the same species, is closer to 30 inches long, but obviously much more slender. Number 6. Garter snakes come in many different colors and patterns. Not only are there a good number of different species and some...
Alright, don't really care about morphs. Yeah, that's like the bulk of it. Alright. And the next one was the Brazilian rainbow boa. Where did the video on this one go? Never mind. I did not grab a video on this. I think because I actually I removed these from the list. So they weren't technically supposed to be on here. This got fucked up somehow. I don't know what got removed then if it wasn't these, but I will show you guys a video on them.
Extremely powerful South American boa that... Oops. Hi there. These are my two Brazilian rainbow boas. 𝐒𝐴𝐵 This one here, this is Link. He's called Link because his pattern kind of links together. And this is Minnie. She's covered in hidden Mickeys.
Aw.
It works for me.
She's a Disney adult.
I have been wanting to talk to you about...
Dad, do you guys see this rainbow sheen? Their name isn't for nothing. These snakes have a rainbow sheen to them. They're very, very beautiful.
These incredible snakes since the beginning of this channel. But the reality is, I couldn't find a healthy adult to show to you. But thanks to our incredible friend Richard Bilbo, who you might recognize from our video about Eastern Indigo snakes and our video about Emerald Tree boas, these beautiful Brazilian rainbow boas are mine. And one of my first observations when I got these incredible snakes was how strong they are.
It's like a rainbow, Chad, it's a fucking foil Pokemon card.
They are unbelievably powerful for their size. In fact, the only snakes I'd ever held that were as powerful for their size as these were anacondas. In our video on green anacondas, I kept talking about how much anacondas remind me of giant rainbow boas. Well, it goes both ways. In fact, I soon realized that I was talking about an extremely powerful South American boa that has a ring-like pattern and spends a lot of time in damp places. And it doesn't matter if I'm talking about rainbow boas or anacondas. That description still fits. And so I thought...
Is that insane? Isn't it insane that there's a snake out there with a rainbow sheen to it? And you can just have them?
They must be closely related. But how close are they? It took me a while to find a good phylogeny that included multiple anacondas from the genus Eunectes and multiple rainbow boas from the genus Epicrates. Finally, I found a paper published in PLOS One in
Bowen's pythons. They have incredible iridescence. I have not.
2016 by Figueroa and others, titled A Species-Level Phylogeny of Extant Snakes with Description of a New Colubrid Subfamily. This phylogeny included 3 anaconda species and 4 rainbow boas, including Epicrates centria. Not only are the rainbow boas related to the anacondas, but some anaconda species are more closely related to rainbow boas than they are to the other anacondas. Thus, to have a proper clade that includes all of the anacondas, you must include all of the rainbow boas. The rainbow boas are all more...
I don't know what he's saying. So basically what he's saying is that anacondas, you know, like those big ass snakes that you see in like Florida, are related to rainbow boas. So a clade is basically, to summarize, like a type of animal, right? So what's like an example? Basically these are anaconda.
More closely related to one another than they are to the anacondas. So rainbow boas are a thing, just like crocodiles are a thing and snakes are a thing, or like birds are a thing. But in the same way that any clade that includes both snakes and crocodiles must also include the birds, there is no clade that includes all of the anacondas without including the rainbow boas. Rainbow boas are tiny anacondas. And logistically speaking,
in without an implosion, thank you.
They're probably the best pet anacondas. But they aren't notoriously easy to keep. Is that reputation warranted? Are Brazilian rainbow boas a...
Birds are a thing, really? So basically he's saying in like the reptile clade, birds are under that. So birds are part of the reptile clade. Same thing with like crocodiles, right? Julius Kingsland, thank you. My anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, hun.
A good pet snake? And are they the best pet snake for you? To figure this out, we're gonna have to score the Brazilian rainbow boa based on our 5 categories, which are handleability, care, hardiness, availability, and upfront costs. When it comes to handleability, we give the Brazilian rainbow boa a score of 4 out of 5. This is frankly a fantastic snake to handle. They're plenty big enough that they aren't easily lost or injured during handling. They're also good at hanging on, so they're unlikely to be dropped. And they tend to move in a slow and deliberate manner, which makes handling easy. Though they are plenty big enough to make handling safe and enjoyable, they're still small enough that they can easily be handled by most adults and even children. And generally speaking, they pose no real threat to their handler. Just don't let them wrap completely around your neck, especially if you're alone. They have a slow metabolism, even for a snake.
So if you're not picking up what he's putting down, basically they can fucking kill you.
Which means that they don't poop very often. And that's good news. Their legs are too small to do you any damage. And they can't voluntarily drop their tails. Hooray! As adults, they don't tend to be bitey. But I am always a bit more careful with boas. As babies, they do tend to be a bit bitey. When you're a noodle with a head, the world is a scary place. And when you're a baby noodle with a head, it's an extremely scary place. However, they tend to grow out of that within a year or so.
Why does he have a goofy voice? He's jolly!
The other issue is simply that for their size...
This, man. How do you hate Clint? What is wrong with you? How the fuck can you hate Clint?
They are extremely strong. They can easily get you into, like handcuffs. And their bite, while rare and not likely to do any permanent damage, will be a decent little tooth punch.
Yeah, the only way you can hate Clint is if you hate happiness. This is one of the few examples of a good, pure human being. Something wrong with you. You're salty and you're a hater. All right. Garter snake or Brazilian rainbow boa, aka a mini anaconda. Candle drops in 3, 2, 1. There's no way. Killer Zillable, thank you. Why not Peruvian rainbow boa? They have bigger circular markings. Because I knew these were available. Could do a Peruvian rainbow boa. It's part of it's a matter of like what's available. So if specifically like if Brazilian rainbow boa won, and I couldn't find specifically a Brazilian rainbow boa, then Peruvian rainbow boa would work. I don't even know that Peruvian rainbow boas existed, but put it by, thank you. I've been informed Clint supports breeding spider ball pythons, and this is unethical. Cite your fucking sources. Tell me where Clint of Clint's Reptiles said he supports breeding spider morph ball pythons. Please by, thank you. Do you like chorus for snakes instead of Pokemon? No. Clint would not torture animals. All right. What's it looking like? All right, right now, 53% are saying Brazilian rainbow boa. Now, garter snakes would be able to get multiple of them. Would have quite a few, and then chat would get to name them multiple times because there'd be multiple of them. Brazil funny. I wonder how many people are voting for the rainbow boa just because it has Brazil in its name. The chatters bitching about Clint need to take their meds, yeah. Born again right there, thank you, chat. Don't give her a big snake, we can't lose her. You should have mentioned that before I voted. Well, we watched the video on it. Cool, thank you. It's fair, I apologize. I lost a Balacha run and that ruins any man. It's okay. Okay. You should know your audience. Best madness, thank you. Clint is the only source. Clint is my only source, and I like that green boa he had one time. Emerald tree boa? That one? Oh my god, it's 50-50 now. It's 50-50 now. Alright. 10! 9! 8! 7! 6! 5! 4! 3! 2! 1! The winner is Garter Snake at 50% with Brazilian Rainbow Boa at 49%. Dun, 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 dun. Garter Snake bros, stay winning. Alright! Next up, the Beauty Rat Snake versus the Green Tree Python. Now, green tree pythons are one of my personal favorite snakes, but they are kind of a bitch to take care of. They don't like to be handled. They're a little bit feisty. You guys will see. Alright, let's start with the beauty rat snake.
Hey everybody, we realized that we produced baby Vietnamese blue beauty rat snakes before even introducing this species to you all on the channel. So today we're going to talk all about the blue beauty rat snake, from where they live in the wild to how to take care of them in captivity.
Dun, 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 dun.
The Vietnamese blue beauty rat snake is native to Southeast Asia, specifically the Thailand, Vietnam, and Burma areas of—
Is this female Clint? Kind of, yeah. This channel is Snake Discovery, and she's a very, very wholesome lady who I also believe could never have controversy. Nobody knows the game thing. You just search Clint Spiderball Python. I wouldn't say he support it, but he's not against it either. No, I'd have to watch the video.
Of Southeast Asia. This makes them a species of Old World rat snake, and they are quite a bit different than the New World rat snakes we see in North America. One of those differences is their overall body shape. And if you look at the blue beauties, I mean, they're gorgeous snakes first off, but they also have more of a thinner body to them. That's because this is more of an arboreal species living up in the trees, and having a thinner body makes them more agile and built for climbing around the branches. In comparison, our New World rat snakes in North America have more of a rounder body shape that's built for terrestrial life, or living on the ground. Because of their body shape, another difference between the Old World rat snakes and New World rat snakes is, although New World rat snakes, like corn snakes, will flatten out their cheeks kind of if they're trying to look intimidating, if they're feeling threatened, you know, they flatten out a little bit more horizontally, whereas the blue beauties will actually flatten themselves vertically when they feel threatened. So near their head, they will stretch out that skin more up and down like, or more vertically, to try to look big and scary to intimidate whatever is scaring them. Another one of their defense mechanisms is also a bit different, being an Old World rat snake. The New World species of rat snakes, like corn snakes and black rat snakes, will, when threatened, vibrate the end of their tail to sound like a rattlesnake to scare you away, whereas the blue beauties and other Old World rat snakes will actually waggle the entire tail of theirs to try to look scary. I personally think this is adorable though, and it's like a puppy wagging its tail, but they're not happy when they're doing this.
It's like a cat.
Thank you. I have a rounder body shape built for terrestrial life. Thorax the Impaler, thank you, thank you.
Wagging its tail.
It's like a cat wagging its tail, exactly. And finally, another behavioral difference you'll often see in Old World rat snakes is when they are resting or in a resting position on the ground, they will often kink their bodies so they look like a tree root and less like an actual snake. This is a type of behavior—
Wait, what? Oh, Snake Discovery! The only thing Snake Discovery has done that made me worry was a drug reference in one of their ads? What? What the hell are you talking about? And the Feed Your Ex videos, oh, the ones where it's like, oh, you can name something and then it gets fed to the pets. It's just like a little silly thing.
Behavioral camouflage, and it might make you think they have kinks in their spine, but it's actually just them purposely looking kinky.
It's very like—
Yeah, the first time.
normie thing. Enrico, thank you. Good asking, Pippa, have you seen any of the lavender false water cobra? It's my favorite snake. I've heard of false water cobras, but I don't know like anything about them. Paladin, thank you. Keep in mind, snakes eat bunnies. Just saying. Depends on the snake.
When we got into these, it was, what's wrong with them?
Yeah, we initially thought that there was something wrong with them, but that's just how they are. In the wild, the Vietnamese blue beauty rat snakes will inhabit a wide variety of habitats. They're found in thick forests and agricultural fields. They're even found in mountainous areas, so they occupy a wide variety of different environments in the wild. They're also one of the largest species of rat snakes. These guys can grow to 7 to 8 feet. And being a semi-arboreal snake or a semi-tree dwelling snake, they, like we said earlier, have a bit of a thinner body shape to them to help them navigate through those branches.
Yeah, I think that's okay, right? If they're really long, that's okay. But like the Brazilian rainbow boa, that does scare me a bit. Right? We have like a big ass fucking snake that's like anything can bite you, right? But those things can like choke and kill you. It's like, ah.
As babies, they start out as a beautiful olive green color, and then they turn even prettier as they age and mature, as they become this beautiful like slate blue color instead. Something I really like about this species is that they're like 3 snakes in one. They have this patternless start to their body, and then they have this crazy busy pattern in the middle of their body, and then they end with stripes. How cool is that? And they have just this incredibly long tail too, so it's like they're ridiculously big and have so many different patterns. They couldn't make up their mind what they wanted to look like, so they just adopted all 3 patterns. Now that you know a little bit about their natural history and where they live in the wild, let's talk about keeping the Vietnamese.
Alright, so versus the green tree python. Dun 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 dun. Weird ass video.
What's going on, guys? Rhyming Nil, Trickstars.com. Thanks for tuning in today.
What?
Guess what? I got a new watch. I figured you guys would love to see it. Would you like to see it? If you'd like to see it, smash the like button. If you hit that like button right now, I'll give you 5 seconds and I'll show you my new watch. 5, 4, 3, 2,
I'm not
1.
clicking it.
Wow.
Wow!
Look at that.
That is a cool
Vintage.
watch.
Straight from the dealership. This cost a pretty penny. I know. It's incredible. Really nice. There's only one in the world. This is the one. All jokes aside, guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Giovanni, my Biak.
I don't like this guy. Green tree python. I forgot it was hard to find a video on these. Because there's green tree pythons and there's emerald tree boas. What they're called? Emerald tree boas? Or just emerald boas? Whatever they're called. And they are different and they have different temperaments. And green tree pythons are more docile.
Now that we've got the whole turtle situation figured out, it's time to unbox some snakes. When my husband and I and his family were at the Global Pet Expo last week in Orlando, they usually just showcase the new products that are on the market. But
I don't know if she'll really talk about them. Here we go. How to handle green tree python.
We've had a lot of requests on how to handle green tree pythons. So today,
Early days, 7 years ago.
green trees out here for you to see, and
From
we're
7
going
years
to
ago.
be showing you some tips and tricks on how to handle them. Green tree pythons are known to be kind of a more nippy species of snake, and they don't really enjoy being handled, but if you are willing to work with them and spend a lot of time just handling them and getting them used to you, then you can make them a handleable snake. Obviously, these are...
I wouldn't want to. I don't think I would touch it. I'm sorry.
Not their enclosures, we just brought their perches upstairs so that you could see them in the light. Because of their personalities, our first tip is to give them removable perches so that they're not in their cages when you're trying to get them out. You can just take their perch right out of the tank and then you can work with them out here. Next, handle them during the daytime when they are asleep. Since they're nocturnal, they're awake at night and usually hunting for...
You want a snake you can hold. Well, I already have a snake I can hold, so really for this, I'm down for whatever.
Food, and if you try to handle them then, they're much more likely to strike. We actually tried filming this last night about an hour and a half before their lights went out, so we thought it'd be okay. But they knew their light cycle, and they were already starting to get a little bit testy.
Be worried.
Haha, you tried to...
Tried to get the camera.
Yeah, I did. So we had to put off filming until today. When you first start handling your green tree python, you may want to use gloves just for your own protection, either one or both hands. You don't have to use them, but it might be a good idea at first. Although we don't often use gloves ourselves, we do keep a pair of these down in our green tree python room just in case we need them. First, remove the snake out of its enclosure.
Bitchy ass snakes. AG the 18th Emperor, thank you. Have you heard of milk snakes? Yes, we already had them on the voting.
With its removable perch so that they're out of their comfort zone.
And then they lost.
They might be a little bit more cage territorial if you try to pick them up while they're inside their enclosure. Next, since she's in a perfect strike pose here, we're gonna have to watch her body language closely. I'm going to just set my hand underneath her so she knows that I'm here. She's not gonna strike downwards. She might strike back up at me. We'll kind of see what happens here. If they come onto your hands, that works. They're probably not gonna strike at you unless you are approaching them. But once you have them cupped in your hands, you do not want to pull them off of their perch. That's a very important thing to note with green tree pythons. Instead, with adults like this one, you can slide them off of their perch. And this is a very slow process unless they decide to start moving themselves. And again, I'm watching her body language constantly. But if she has her nose right up to me, I'm not worried about her striking because I am not approaching her. She's the one approaching my hand. And then if you kind of tickle them in the back or just kind of rub their back end here, that kind of inspires them to move off of the perch, and then you can provide their hand as a perch instead. As you can see, she's pretty well
I don't think this would make a good pet. I mean, it's the same way, like, a fish is a good pet, right?
Anchored right here on the perch. So now if you have a snake that's kind of stubborn and doesn't want to...
I'm not, like, afraid of being bitten, right? Like, they're not gonna... Like, this would hurt, but... And it is gonna make you bleed, but it's not gonna, like... devastate you. You know, you're not gonna need stitches from this.
Come off completely.
Most likely.
You can rock the snake or the perch back and forth a little bit to kind of loosen them up. Again, it's going to be their decision to come off of that perch rather than you pulling them. She's getting a little further towards the end, and then we can just slide the perch out.
I don't want to be big.
And obviously you have your hand there for them to slide onto so that they can feel secure. Once they're out on your hand, you want to constantly be watching their body language still. It's not over just because you have them off of their perch. They're not like a ball python that'll be just sitting content in your hands. Always be watching their head and see that she's still in a strike pose, so I'm not going to approach her face at all, otherwise she will definitely strike at me. Instead, I'm just going to move her around a little bit, maybe get her used to me touching her from behind where she can't strike me. Another thing to watch out for is their tail. This is a very fragile tail on the green tree python.
It seems they have a difficult personality. Yeah.
They have very small vertebrae. It's a very skinny tail. So make sure you're not pulling on it at all. Just let it grip wherever it wants to grip. The reason why their tail is a different color and it's so skinny is
they're so beautiful, aren't they? And the way they just sit on their perches is it's so unique. These are fascinating snakes. So, that is why they are on the roster. It is up to you guys to decide. Green tree python. Or, well actually, wait, I did that backwards. Beauty rat snake or green tree python. Music is loud. Oh. Beauty rat snake or green tree python. Who will you guys vote for? The beauty rat snake, which gets long as hell, 6 feet long. Or the green tree python, which at some point will probably bite me. Greenies are super pretty, but not the best newbie snake. I do have experience with snakes. Green tree snake worse, but my favorite color green. I love green tree python, but I'll pick rat snake because it's more handleable. Watch her get bitten day one. That probably would happen. What kind of snake do you have? I have a ball python. Also, I live with my parents, and Papakin is very, very experienced with snakes. So... show us the bite marks when you get them. Round 7, they give $5. Carter is gonna win just because Chad will get to name multiple of them. I don't know, Chad seems pretty dead set on the hognose. I should have known hognoses would have been so popular, and I probably should have put them at like the bottom, like last part of the bracket. Because they kind of curb stomped everything. Cutie rat snake, because I have experience working with them, do you? Alright. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1! The winner is... the Beauty Rat Snake with 61%! Dun, 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 dun. I am sad to say goodbye to the Green Tree Python. But I do understand why it lost. Alright. Not when they get rabbit buying a snake, when will you learn that your actions have consequences? Green Python was sick, but seemed too aggro. They are pretty aggro. And the Emerald Tree Boa is even worse. I know you're probably looking at that video, right, and thinking like, wow, that's like a very aggressive snake. The Emerald Tree Boa is even worse. But both are absolutely stunning. They're also fragile. They are also both quite fragile. I think Emerald Tree Boa is even more fragile though. Even more of a nightmare to take care of. Alright. So, you guys have already seen the Mexican black king snake, but you have not seen the Eastern indigo snake, often referred to as the holy grail of colubrids. When my parents had a pet store, we actually had one of these, and we just kept it as a display. My family, even Mamakin, who doesn't like snakes, loved this snake, so they hold a lot of nostalgia for me. These are bull snakes an option? No, because they're fucking assholes. I didn't put bull snakes on here because they're fucking mean. They're mean and they're not very pretty, so I didn't put them on here. Sorry. No benefits to bull snakes, in my opinion. But Eastern indigo snakes, I have a lot of nostalgia for. They are a nightmare to find, though. This is the kind of snake where it wouldn't be an option to adopt it, most likely. This would be something that I really had to hunt for. These snakes are difficult to get even if you have connections, which I think I could... I think I'd be able to get one. I think I have the network, but these are a bitch to get. Expensive? They are pretty expensive. Paladin, thank you. Were Arabian sand boas an option? No, but Kenyan sand boas are, because Arabian sand boas are too hard to find. Alright, thank you. I like my snakes how I like my women, where they both hate me and will attack. Alright. For the Eastern indigo snake. Oh, you know what got removed? Rosy boas. Oh well.
Hey everybody, today is a very exciting
Nobody's
day
that attached to
we
rosy
are
boas.
acquiring a group of Eastern indigo snakes. In case you aren't
Rosies are my favorite. Ah, fuck. Are they not that good? No, rosy boas are fine. I tried to remove Brazilian rainbow boa, and it looks like I accidentally removed rosy boas by accident.
Familiar with them, and by the way, don't mind the mural to your right. It's in the middle of getting made. That's another video. Anyway, if you aren't familiar with the eastern indigo, it is a protected species because they are threatened in Georgia and Florida, where you actually can't own them at all. Up here where we live, you can get them as long as you get them from within the same state, so you can't cross state lines with them. They're kind of a holy grail of snake species, and they are the longest species of colubrid in North America. So the eastern indigo, I'll go into more details later. They are a magnificent snake, a big snake. They're closely related to 𝐒𝐲𝐻𝐿, that they are in the Drymarchon genus, but you probably just want to see the snake. So I'll stop talking. I'm gonna run outside and help my friend Matt unload their cages and unload the snakes from a U-Haul that he just brought over here, and we're gonna see our new indigos. I have been trying to rent a U-Haul with this design on it, because there's a few of them out there, and I have yet to get one with the garter snake, so that's so cool and so perfect for today.
Hi, friendly, thank you. Hope we get a venomous snake that has no available anti-venom, please. What the fuck?
In the bags. We also have a very special gift, not indigos in here. Something else that's pretty rare, and it's jet black. And I won't give you any more clues. I'll show you later. But we first have to set up while they're all sitting there their new enclosures. We've got these awesome 6-foot animal plastic cages that we got from him as well.
I'll run, thank you. While working in a solar field, I had a run-in with a Mojave Green, a very aggressive rattlesnake. A buddy said one chased him once. I will rain on your parade and say, I don't believe the snake intentionally chased your friend. What happens that leads people to believe that a snake is chasing them is that somebody will be like trying to like run to get out of the way of a snake, right? And usually to do that, people will like follow the path that they're already on. And the snake will also try to flee in that path. It's not that the snake is chasing you. You're both just thinking the same thing. Next, Angela, thank you. I saw a movie a while back called Gentlemen Broncos by the same people who made Napoleon Dynamite. In one scene, guy's pet python shits all over him. Well, that's gross. Black Hat, thank you. My friend said these snake poop explosively.
And we're
I don't
set up
remember
some
the smell
bins.
being that bad, but I don't have a very strong sense of smell anyways. So.
And yeah, the biggest of the indigos is gonna go straight into the Zeus. We're gonna set him up too. So we got
that's
a lot
what
of work ahead
spot
of us.
cleating's for. Show me the snake.
Oh my god. Just look intelligent to me. They kind of have that look to their
Here
eye
they
where
are.
they're there mentally, if that makes sense. I don't know. They also just really like food, so maybe that's the only thing they have on
Graham, thank you. If indigos are protected species, and I can't in good conscience vote for it, knowing that they might have been poached. There are breeders out there for them.
Who knows? There you go, buddy.
Also, thank you. Have you considered getting an eastern tiger snake? I have not.
We're gonna
I don't know
film
anything
for the
about
next couple
those.
minutes, just an FYI. To 𝐒𝐲𝐻𝐿. They are in the Drymarchon genus, just like 𝐒𝐲𝐻𝐿 are. So if you're starting to think, or if you've been thinking, man, that just looks like a black-tailed 𝐒𝐲𝐻𝐿, that's why. They're very closely related. But we're gonna set her down.
Alright, I'll find another video where they talk about them.
Well, hi there.
Is that as big as they get? This is as big as they get.
Cobras are unquestionably cool. Earlier
That's Lilith. That's Brian Barczyk's white cobra. She sadly passed away due to suspected internal injuries from when she was younger that just basically developed and slowly killed her over time, unfortunately. Lilith was a beautiful snake and was very, very tame before she started spiraling from her injuries. Indigos, thank you! If you want a snake that looks super similar to Eastern Indigos, Texas Indigos are a good alternative. They don't need a permit and they're closely related. I have heard of those. That might be the go-to if an Eastern Indigo is off the table.
this year, I got to handle king cobras for the first time. I'm still unbelievably excited that this happened. But I don't feel the need to do it again.
Oh, Lilith belonged to Nerd, not Brian. Ah, okay, my bad, my bad. Wait, who did... Brian definitely owned, Are you sure? remember. It's been a few years now since Lilith passed away. Lilith the Cobra. Oh yeah, New England Reptile did own her. Okay, yeah. What did Brian Barczyk owned the double-headed shit. What was it? Brian Barczyk double-headed. This thing. The two-headed snake. This thing was also fucked up. I don't remember how long this thing lived for. Brad, thank you. I would have had a white cobra. Oh my god. There are other white cobras out there. Leucistic ones. Not just albino. But they are quite rare.
Anytime soon. I was recently
It's still
at
live,
Tyler
is it
Nolan's
really?
house. I could have asked to handle his king cobra. I did handle his monocled cobra, but I didn't even ask to handle that king cobra. Why? Because king cobras are very dangerous. Even though monocled cobras have a more toxic venom, it was so much easier to handle than a king cobra. King cobras are truly unreasonable snakes. But I don't think being unreasonable is what makes...
They're so badass though. I love king cobras. I know that's such a stereotypical snake to love, but god, they're so fucking cool.
King cobras so cool. I think it's their impressive size, their obvious intelligence, the way that they look, and the power that a snake built.
I gotta show you guys Lilith. She was too cool. She was so fucking cool. Look at her.
Lilith's getting pretty big. Keep her, keep her, keep her, keep her. So the trick is, what I've been working with Lilith is trying to...
God. Aren't they badass?
She is growing. So what's interesting about Lilith, see that black scale right there?
Video just cuts off. God, it's so cool.
That was an amazing experience, and what an amazing
That's
animal
Brian
Lilith
Barczyk. Maybe that's why I thought he owned her, because I saw her. I saw some videos of him and her interacting.
definitely lives up to her name for sure. She is a beauty. That was an amazing...
Man. Gosh, she was so cool.
Oh, look at that.
There she is!
She peekabooed you. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Don't forget Oracle. It was super...
Oh, look at
Yo, King Cobra. Oh, I don't know Oracle.
She peekabooed you.
Yeah, hell of a jump scare. Hell of a fucking jump scare. Man.
Well, it's getting pretty big.
This is an incredible animal. Just an absolutely incredible animal, chat. Okay, back to Indigos.
To overpower and eat
Back to something still cool, but obviously less impressive.
other snakes possesses. They're amazing. Well, as it turns out, North America has a snake that fills that exact same ecological niche. This is the eastern indigo snake. It is the longest snake in North America. It is an active, intelligent hunter of other snakes that, like a king cobra, is built to overpower other snakes. This snake feeds upon the largest venomous snakes in North America, the eastern.
These things are fucking badass. Person who sold his wife, thank you. In HK, King Cobra called Woshan Oof. Big oof if you get bit by it. What the fuck? Solitary Paradise, thank you.
Diamondback
Thank you for coming,
rattlesnake, and basically everything else that it could possibly swallow. This is our king cobra, and it certainly isn't lacking in the beauty department. This is one of the most beautiful snakes I've ever seen in my entire life. And for people that know snakes, this is one of the most desirable snakes in the world. And it's a heck of a lot more reasonable than their Asian equivalent. But the question is still, is the Eastern Indigo a good pet snake? And is it the best pet snake for you? To help you figure this out, we're going, woo, you powerful.
Ladek, thank you. You're gonna buy a snake and feed it other snakes. Potentially? I don't know. I think you can feed indigos rodents. If I remember correctly. I don't know, gotta look into their care.
Beast you. We're gonna score the Eastern Indigo snake based on our 5 categories, which are handleability, care, hardiness, availability, and upfront costs. You monster, you. When it comes to handleability, we give the Eastern...
They're so fucking cool. I once saw a B-movie about a cobra anaconda hybrid made in a lab through gene splicing, escaping into the wild. It was basically a man-sized cobra. Hell yeah. CBBC, I think I'd be worried this would get out and eat the bunnies. I think the bunnies would be fine. The bunnies are pretty big.
Eastern Indigo, a score of 3 out of 5. Everything about handling this snake is amazing, except for one thing. I don't normally bring a change of clothes with me when we film. I did today. When I handled Lilith, Kevin told me to wrap my hands around her urogenital opening so she wouldn't spray me with poop. At the time, that was the least of my concerns. Today, it is the most of my concerns. Like their unreasonable...
I don't remember ever getting shit on by my family's indigo snake.
Asian counterparts, the Eastern Indigo snake can literally drench you with feces. This Eastern Indigo, which belongs to my good friend Richard Bilbo, was the first indigo that I ever held, and this was a few years ago at the Wasatch Reptile Expo. Right when I gave him back to Richard, I saw one of the hoses from Willy Wonka's Chocolate Waterfall burst. Help. Police. Murder. These snakes love to eat. They have fast metabolisms, so they need to eat frequently for a snake. And you never know exactly when your room is going to turn into the fudge room. The suspense is terrible. I hope it lasts.
This would not live in my room. This would not live in my room.
Not only is their poop muchy.
Daily basis, thank you. Is Piranaconda up for consideration? What?
But it is aromatic. So when it happens, like even if you haven't looked at the crime scene yet, you'll know it's there. This isn't worse than what you might get with a king cobra, but you're probably less likely to have your king cobra casually draped over your neck when the waterworks begin. Oompa loompa.
Stop!
Handling them, though, is an activity. Let's put it that way. When it comes to care, we give the Eastern Indigo a score of 3 out of 5. It's mostly fairly easy. They generally don't need heat, which is major. Like, they do pretty well at room temperature. High temps actually can be a big problem for them. It's actually
so convenient.
Part of the reason that they are endangered in the wild is because they don't do very well at high temperatures, and so they go to ground. And when people would destroy like tortoise burrows, we lost a lot of these snakes as well.
That's sad. All right. Well, we spent a fair bit of time here. A quick refresher on the Mexican black king snake. For those of you who have forgotten. Show you some little videos here. Here's what these guys look like. They almost look like a miniature version. Not as threatening. Tinier version of the other guy. The music, yeah. Looks like licorice. Ah! You fucked up. Less poop. Yeah, less poop. Very cool. Very cool snake. Time for you guys to vote between the Eastern Indigo snake and the Mexican black king snake. I have a doodle, thank you. You should get a black mamba. They got a bit of a bad rep, but they're actually Danny snakes. I think I'm good. They're full of Chihuahua syndrome. Oh man. Indigo snake, more like poop snake. No! Which one was the poo-poo snake? The Eastern Indigo. Stop calling them that! What's wrong with you guys? What is wrong with you guys? They are absolutely incredible looking though. Look at this face. If looks could kill, chat. Man. So fucking cool looking. Such a cool looking snake. Wow. Beautiful they are. Don't mind, thank you for becoming a big poopy! Indigo is big poopy up. No! Oh. So cool. Alright. With that being said, I'm gonna give you guys 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1! The winner is... the Mexican Black King Snake! I'm very surprised. I'm very surprised. What made you guys choose the Mexican Black King Snake over the Eastern Indigo Snake? Oh. I hate democracy again. I'm very surprised because less poop. Oh, well, you guys aren't gonna be the ones taking care of it, so I'm surprised that even enters your mind. Alright. Maybe you guys intend to get matching snakes. Rob, because of Glenn's poop talk. Alright. The next matchup is between the garter snake and the beauty rat snake. So, garter snake. We care about your well-being, I appreciate it. Whoa, look at these ones. For a refresher, here are some garter snakes. These are snakes that can be kept together, which is pretty cool. I'm surprised that guy's not getting eaten. Oh, because they had babies. I was like, how the hell? Even if they can get along with each other, I'm very surprised. The video of a guy finding a big garter snake and just picking it up. I thought it was garter snake. I thought so too when I was younger. I think oh, he's pissed! I think gardener snakes are garden snakes, which are like the little green vine-like ones that you can find. Wow. Put up such a fight and then he picked it up anyways. Oh, it's got a wound. Oh. Alright. And then the other one was a beauty rat snake. Bring up a video of these guys. Oh, I'm Zodic. She's a cool channel. Wow. So cool looking. Such a cool looking snake. They remind me so much of like a bird. Oh, that's a rhino rat snake. These guys are interesting, but like impossible to find. If I could find one of these, I would have put them on here, but I like never see these. Hellions Remnant, thank you. But they are cool. They have a little horn on them. That's the bluest snake I've ever seen. I don't know if they actually stay that blue. I feel like that might have been a filter, but I don't know. Because usually rhinos are like a pure green. Wow. I don't know. There's all kinds of shit out there. Alright. Time for you guys to vote. Between the garter snake. Garter snake. I keep spelling it Gartner. And The beauty rat snake. Dun 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 dun! I'm very curious. Wait, hold on. Let me look these up. Blue rhino rat snake. Is this real? Is this real? Is this real? I don't know if that's real. I always see them like this. Like green. They are really fucking cool looking. These guys are really, really cool looking. Hognoses have like a little spike as well. Alright! 10! 9! 8! Quantity over quality! We can name more of them! Thank you, show me your butthole for the $2. 10! 9! 8! 7! 6! 5! 4! 3! 2! 1! With 59%! Garter snakes move on to the next round. And now it is between the Mexican black king snake and the garter snake. Mexican black king snake and garter snake. We are almost at the end here. If you guys can hang on there. Hang in there just a little bit longer. Hang in just a little bit longer. No rats, yeah, no rat snakes made it. Unfortunately, they are really cool. This is going to be our final matchup. Whoever wins this is going up against the Western hognose snake, which will not be an easy battle. They have a steep contender, they really do. This is gonna be a very difficult, very difficult battle for them. I'm gonna start counting down. 10! 9! 8! 7! 6! 5! 4! 3! 2! 1! The garter snake steals the vote with 51%! Dun, dun, dun! The Mexican black king snake at 48%. Alright. You know what that means, chat. This is the final round. It's between the Western hognose snake and the garter snake. Before you guys vote, we will watch one more video of each snake. Or maybe a few more. Depends if we find good ones. Just to remind everybody who our contenders are. Day in the life. I think we saw this one. I don't think we did.
Hello, dude. I gotta get this guy out of the road, but nice little eastern hognose snake.
He's so angry. He looks so flat.
Enthusiastic to show us the inside of his mouth.
He looks so flat. He's so aggressive.
You, dude. Grumpy little guy.
Alan didn't play dead, surprisingly. Here's the other. The one we saw before. Oh, here's one of them hissing. Oh. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Alright. And then how about one more? Here's one just out in the wild. The slow turn back, like, what the fuck? You touched me. No! 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 Oh! He's dead. Oh, he's dead. he's not only is he dead, but he's falling all the way into the river. He's so dead. He's so dead. He's fallen into the river. No. No. He's so dead. Oh, man. Oh, man. Unbelievably dead. Oh. The final twitches of the tail. That's a lot of drama. It's a lot of drama. Oh my god. Versus the garter snake, which would be able to keep multiple of, because apparently they are communal. The lore said the 𝐒𝐤stnake.exe has stopped working. Let's see.
This is my
rainbow.
love, and look at it.
What the
Check
hell?
her out.
That's not a garter snake.
Literally so rainbow that she looks like an oil on.
What the hell is that? Possibly it's anything. When Eastern Hognose is falling into the river. Hey! Zetsu, thank you. This one fluffles away. Oh, garter snake cage.
So today we have kind of an
Let's
exciting...
skip to the end.
Like, look at it. Clean it now.
Quit it, you're spreading it around.
Oh, there's so many of them.
Anyway, we do have 2 more albino checker garter snakes, but we're keeping that.
Whoa, cute. Tomboy, thank you. And the Oscar goes to 𝐒𝐤𝐷𝐿. I've let him envision everything. I gotta say, I'm partial to blue booties and black rat snakes myself. The garter snakes, black racers. Look up 𝐒𝐴𝐵𝐵𝐵𝐵𝐵, by the way.
In a separate enclosure so that this one isn't too crowded. If anyone watching this is interested in acquiring
I'll remember to look that up. Probably not today.
Like this one, you can go to visionproducts.us, or if you want to check out what Custom Cages has to offer in other styles, like
I've never heard of Vision products. I got my snake enclosure from Toad Ranch, which I will never do again because it's very expensive.
huge. They call it the Majestic line because they truly are.
These are really cool. I spent way too much money on my snake enclosure. I don't want to talk about
Majestic.
it.
Go to customcages.com. Thank you not only to Custom Cages for this enclosure, but also to everybody who's watching today's episode.
Oh, thank you. Why can't we get both? You're so mean, Pippa. Well, maybe next time Year the Snake comes around, we can do a round 2 of this. Oh, first golden garters.
Hey everyone,
I think I saw this video.
Today we would officially introduce
them being
exactly. Wow, you guys are looking at the very first
We got these from a fan, if I remember correctly, and they had babies.
Of bread, whatever.
That's 12 years? Yep. I don't know. Next time... I don't know. I have a lot of pets. But... maybe again someday. But we'll see. We'll see. At least not for another year. Matt Sandra, thank you. Can't wait to see what animal you get next year. Well, next year is Year of the Horse, right?
Good heavens, what a beautiful little man. These guys
Urban
found this
Rescue
little
Ranch.
garter snake out here. Look at this, guys. This is what it looks like when you get bit by a garter snake.
Skip it about it.
See? Doesn't really hurt too much. I am probably going to bleed a tiny bit there.
Skip it about it.
Oh, look how cute that little guy is. He's focusing on the back of him. Beautiful snake. Oh, he's
look
going
at
up
him
to the
swimming!
Good heavens, what a beautiful...
They're so cool that they swim. It's so cool that they swim like that. Garter snake morph. Oh, thank you, but in 12 years you'll be like, Dizzy's age, what the hell? Whoa, only 2 exist. I don't like shorts for this. Wow. This is something I've got 3. Take your pick of horses. Maybe I'll buy a ranch.
Wow. After a few feedings, I switch them on to cut up pinkies and silverside fish.
Oh, wow. So they'll eat pinkies, these things?
Yeah. So garter snakes are generalists normally in nature. So as babies, they're going to eat a lot of like slugs, snail.
All right, chat. Oh wait. Now, Sarah, thank you. So you're gonna stream for 12 more years. Yeah. Okay. Chat. The Western hognose snake, or garter snake. Snakes, plural. This is it, chat. This is it. A Western hognose snake that plays dead, is a little drama queen, and has a fucked up pug face. Or the garter snake. A snake that holds a lot of nostalgia for people. Fond memories of catching snakes in the yard. And we'd be able to have multiple of them. Fox, thank you. Let's go, hog crankers. Show me your butthole, thank you. Give us the hog or give us death. This is it. It's up to you guys to decide. You guys get to make this decision. One that'll affect me for hopefully the next, like, 20 years. However long hognoses live. Or garter snakes live. I'm kind of just expecting hognoses are gonna win. Let me look at the poll. Yeah, they're winning. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of expected this in general. I tried to include some really cool snakes on here that would help to combat against the obvious Western hognose snake power. You don't want a hognose. I want one. I would happily have any of these. What is it? You name the hognose possum. Meme snake versus normal snake, yeah. Alright. Your love for the hognose, show them through. You seem to like them the most. I do really like them. I think I prefer ball pythons in general. But they're also a lot more difficult of a sell. And I already have one, so. Because ball python is like, oh, look at it. It's pretty cute. That's about all it does. It doesn't have any, like, crazy unique features or anything. I mean, I guess there's, like, it falling up, you know? Like, that's kind of neat, but... Airplane missionary, thank you. My ball python doesn't really ball up like that. So... well, sometimes. Well, sometimes, but... Have I say thank you. Name the hognose crankin'. You guys will get to decide that at a later time. I figure the way that it'll go is the next stream will be planning out the enclosure and buying everything for it. We'll, like, design the enclosure on stream, figure out if we want to do, like, bioactive or not. I don't know if you can do bioactive with hognoses because I don't know if isopods would be able to live in the environment that hognoses require, because hognoses are more arid, as far as I know. So I don't know. I feel like a hognose enclosure would just end up being a lot of sand and then some, like, bullshit on top. I don't know. Yeah, no, I suppose I don't know if you can do bioactive with hognoses. Maybe there is a way. Get a species that's used to a drier climate. That's me, thank you. Long live a hog McNose, first of its name, the greatest drama noodle. Long may he reign. I don't know. We'll see. Well, we'll see. Oh, Python and my little shoelaces both lost. I'm broken. I hope you're able to find them. We'll figure out. Oh, no sand in Paction. I don't know anything about hognose care. Well, I'll have to see. I'll have to see. I don't know. Is it no sand for hognoses? I don't know. Vegan bioactive, they don't do well with actual sand. Clay is better. Ah, oh, Pakistan National, thank you. Are these snakes straight? Yes, probably. Alright, that was the end of the song. Drum roll! This is why my streaming equipment breaks, because I hit it. The winner is, with 65% of the vote, Western Hold on. I forgot to boot this up. Congratulations, Western Hognose, on your win! You are the winner of this gauntlet! It was a difficult battle. It was a difficult battle. Not really, not for the Western Hognose. It kind of fucking destroyed literally everything it went up against. I'm very surprised garter snakes actually even made it as far as they did. My personal prediction for how this was gonna go. Here, I'll put this on screen, and then I'm gonna annotate over it how I personally thought it was gonna go, because I did think about this quite a bit. I was like, So, Kenyan Sand Boa versus Western Hognose. I did think it was gonna be difficult, but I did think that it would be the Western Hognose. I felt kind of bad putting the Kenyan Sand Boa up here, because it's kind of like the hognose is such a strong pick. They are so flashy. But I wanted to start off with something really strong, so that way people who aren't into snakes would get to see something cool, basically. Eric Jenkins, thank you. Papa King gonna be stoked. Children's python versus ball python. I did not expect this at all. I thought for sure the children's python would lag behind and ball python would win. Just because everybody owns a ball python, so I was kind of expecting like, oh, everybody knows what a ball python is. Everybody has fond memories of ball pythons. Of course a ball python's gonna win. They come in a crazy amount of morphs. I've talked about how crazy ball python morphs are on other streams. So I thought for sure it would be ball python versus hognose. That's why it lost. I guess that's why it lost. Because people are so used to them. Between black rat snake and corn snake, again, I thought for sure it would be the corn snake. Partly because corn snakes are so much flashier than black rat snakes. I personally really love black rat snakes, but I thought chat would see like the pretty colors and recognize corn snakes because they're available in pretty much every pet store and be like, oh yeah, corn snake, obviously. So I did not think it would be the black rat snake. Yeah. Then the the milk snake versus the Mexican king snake. I don't know about this one. This one was kind of a toss-up. I did kind of think that milk snake would win because they look like coral snakes, and coral snakes, if you don't know, are very venomous snakes. So I thought it would have kind of that appeal. Requesting BGM name. It's Competitions Hard on from Nintendogs Plus Cats. Or California King Snake, sorry. I always just call them king snakes. I forget the California part. But anyways. I did think it would be the milk snake. I did think it would be a milk snake because they look like coral snakes. I thought it would be this. And then between the two, I did think it would be corn snake because they're so much showier. I thought because like corn snake, like they come in such like vibrant colors and they're a bit like cuter looking in general. I know they look very similar, but I'd say corn snakes are a little bit cuter. I thought the corn snake would win. I did not think it would be the milk snake. I mean, I had like an inkling that maybe the milk snake could win because again, it looks like a coral snake. But I don't know if anyone even thought about that. I think people liked the milk part of the name, and that's why they kept saying milk snake, milk snake, milk snake, you know? Between corn snake and hognose snake, obviously hognose snake. Them playing dead just makes sense. It just makes sense. I did see people talking about coral snakes at some point. I like it because they said it's more active and zooms. Hognose sweep is real? Yeah. Hognose sweep is real. I guess I did kind of predict it, but... Milk snake! I thought it was a milkshake! Ah ha 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 ha! Ah ha 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 ha! Okay, anyways. Oh man, the image is like off-center. God damn it. Now I gotta like... Can I move it? Fuck, I can't like move the entire annotate thing over. I fucked up. Well, I guess I can. It's just part of it's gonna be cut off. Kind of annoying. Eastern Indigo Snake, there was nothing here. This was supposed to be Rosy Boas. Ended up not doing Rosy Boas. I was trying to get rid of the Brazilian rainbow boa, but ended up getting rid of Rosy Boas by accident. Eastern Indigo, I thought would do better. I really thought it would do better. I don't know. I didn't expect the Mexican Black King Snake to win. I mean, over the Baird's Rat Snake, I expected it. Like, that makes sense, right? Because this thing looks way cooler. This thing looks way cooler, right? But against these two, like, Eastern Indigos, like, they look so much more badass. So I did not expect this. I did not expect this at all. I didn't expect it. Synchro, thank you. Peppa, quick question. Are we watching the Pokemon Presents tomorrow so we can see you rage about it? What time is it? Hacker really killed its moment. Yeah, I guess all the poop talk killed the Eastern Indigo Snake. Projectile poop is a turn off, yeah. The serial killer guy killed it with all the poop talk. He's not a serial killer. Oh, wow. Okay, Garter Snake did not expect this. Or I would not expect this against the fucking Brazil Rainbow Boa. To me, the logical next step would be, oh, chat's gonna make me get the biggest snake that I put on the list, which is the Brazil Rainbow Boa. So, did not expect that. Like, how did this happen? Rainbow Boa lost. Yeah, Rainbow Boa lost. Which I just... Multiple snakes sold it. I think that makes sense. I think Garter Snake having multiple snake... being multiple... in the same tank. Leave my shoelaces alone, they're friendly little guys. I'm sorry. Beauty rat snake versus green tree python. No shot in hell. I would have thought this would move forward. I don't know. I don't know how this won. I still don't know how this won. I think it's chat was just put off by how aggressive green tree pythons are. But I also thought that like that would make green tree pythons more interesting. I thought for absolute certain that green tree pythons would move on to the next round. I thought for 100% certain. I gotta say, I'm pleasantly surprised and kind of touched that you guys didn't just try to sabotage me with a pet. Not that it would be sabotage. I do believe I could reasonably take care of anything on this list. But it's nice that you guys, and like I'm touched by the fact that it seems like you guys looked out for me. We're not complete sadists. I guess also this would be less interesting to watch on streams. Which would be the worst? My personal least favorite to take care of on this list would be the Brazil rainbow boa. Oh, it's me, thank you. We want you to have fun, not struggle. Thank you. I think the Brazilian rainbow boa would be fucking miserable. Not fucking miserable, but it would be just not as fun, I guess. They do get really big. They'd be a lot more of a chore. They aren't as visually impressive as some of the others on the list. Planet Missionary, thank you. Green tree pythons and emerald tree boas are specialized bird killers. An emerald tree boa sent my friend to the ER since it landed a successful hit. Jesus Christ. You don't have to feed them birds. You can feed them mice. Does that mean you'll have a live snake cam on stream for the hog? Potentially. I'll have to see how it goes. I don't know if... I don't know. I feel like what's likely to happen is rather than like a live snake cam, I'll probably create like a little environment that I can put them in temporarily as a hand cam. Maybe like a feeding tank, which is something that's kind of like hotly debated whether or not feeding tanks are a good idea, but or feeding tub type thing. I might do like a feeding tub and put it in the hand cam area. I don't know. Live snake cam? It definitely wouldn't be a 24-hour snake cam, because that would be way too much of a hassle, and I would be constantly worried, like, oh, did the microphone suddenly kick on, or whatever the fuck, you know? Or, oh, what if, like, the microphone fell over, or not microphone, camera fell over, or whatever the fuck. Oreo, thank you for becoming a big baby! Thank you, thank you, thank you! I just personally don't think I would be game for a 24-hour cam. But during things like super chat readings, I think that would be really cool. Turn them into super snake readings. Too much that can go wrong. Too much that can go wrong. I was just thinking about a toggle to show it on stream at times. It'd be pretty neat. Now we gotta name it. No, not the naming part yet. We don't even have him yet. We don't even have his enclosure yet. No, my social security card fell into the snake enclosure. A snake toggle, that would be cute. Depending on... I guess not depending on where we get, but I guess at some point we could get like a little stream pet of him or her. That'd be pretty cute. Okay, and then Green Tree Python, I thought for sure would move on to the next round. And I honestly thought Green Tree Python would be the one to go up against the Hognose. Interesting, thank you. Be careful not to dox your hog. I absolutely 100% thought that the green tree python, because of how cool it is and how much of a pain they are, that they would move on. But yeah. I thought Indigo Hog was gonna be the matchup. That would have made sense too. Kind of a meme pet though. The hog nose or the green tree python? Common sense one. You have snakes already. I have one snake. Unfortunately, the other little guy, to be expected, did not make it. For those of you who don't know, I was given a wild-caught ringneck snake. Or ring snake. I don't remember what their actual name is. And he did get much bigger. He got not big, but he grew. He grew a couple inches. And then just unfortunately one day found him on his side. So what happened to him? I don't know. And this is gonna sound a little bit cold, but it's pretty expensive to do a necropsy. So if for a wild-caught snake, my personal assumption is he probably had parasites or something from being out in the wild. That's all I can think of, because he had food in his tank, he was eating, he was growing, he was doing pretty good. So maybe it was parasites, or maybe I don't know. I don't know. Did he have a name? I did not give him a name. It's unfortunate, but it happens. Could have been 100 different things with Wildcaught. Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of expecting he wouldn't live long to begin with, so I was pleasantly surprised. I had him for a few months. He was growing. There was probably stuff I could have done better. There's not much information on these guys online, so I did all the research I could into making his habitat as nice as possible. I did just introduce into his habitat before he died, like a little bit before, some isopods. I don't think that would have anything to do with it, but I don't know. It's part of life. I'm not too hung up on it. It's one of the things that happens with wild-caught snakes. Stress, dude? It could have been stress. Isopods won't do anything? I wouldn't expect them to. But maybe it's the stress of seeing isopods moving around his tank, I guess? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't think that would be it. That seems like a bit of a leap, but... Good night! My nephew is being born in the next few days! Oh, well, congratulations, 𝐒𝐿𝐴. It was an isopod job! Stress of captivity. Man. You did what you can, had to let a garter snake go. Usually the issue with wild-caught snakes is just that they don't eat. And that's what ends up killing them. But I don't know, because he was eating. I don't know. I don't know. Had a bunch of turtles, and when I introduced fish, they should eat, and one of them wouldn't. Environment change might have been too stressful for it. Don't captive snakes just decide to not want to eat anymore randomly? The thing with snakes in general. They can be very finicky. Mr. Jaws, thank you. Have you considered he may have died of a broken heart? Maybe. Hunger strikes are real things with snakes. They are. Alright, well that being said, I am going to check on the super chat list, if possible. Can I get the super chat list? Thank you for the stream, thank you! Music kind of got sad at the same time. Aw, not sad. This is nap time music from Nintendogs. If you want to just skip the super chats, I will be live again in a little bit. Oh, thank you, Alicia! Thank you! Why do milk snakes look so dope? Oh. They do look pretty badass, though. Alright. I will be... Well, I forgot to finish my sentence. I will be live again on Kick in a little bit for movie night! The last movie night of the month. That's right. I will try to find a better movie than the last one. But the last one! A was viewer recommended. B had high ratings. And C was directed by a well-known director. So, I don't know what happened. I don't know what the fuck happened with that one. Yeah, with good actors. I don't know what happened. Wasn't the last one that Indian movie? That was the first one of the month that we watched. The last movie was Notorious. I forget from what year. Like 1943? 1946 or something? That was bad. It was directed by Alfred Hitchcock. And it was still bad. It had an actor from Casablanca. It had the female lead from Casablanca. Norman, thank you. Thanks for doing movie nights. They're so fun. Hell yeah. I don't fucking know, man. That shit was... I expected so much. And it wasn't even just mid. Roland Von thank you. Ruthless 1948 is a good movie about a guy backstabbing his way to wealth. Elsie, I think it was a surprise dud no one could have predicted. That was crazy. What's your kick? It is kick.com/Pippa. Ambo, thank you. Pet Snake, Pippa, you can't buy Hokey. Micklegs, thank you. I had to VOD watch last night, but I have to tell you, I hate the pufferfish video. Thank you. I'm glad I'm not alone. Oh, we could find like a white hognose. We could find a pure white hognose snake, and we could name it. We could name it Loki after my coworker. Tripbox, thank you. Name it Sakana, female. No, Jam, thank you. BGM Snake Eater. Jack Manson, thank you. Mo Pippa, last super chat I mentioned that you were helping me through my dad being sick. Sadly now, you're helping me through his death. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Jack Manson. How do I say this? It's very corny, but people will come and go from your life, but you'll always have their memory, you know? And I like to think you'll see them again someday. You know? I'm very sorry for your loss. Talman, thank you. Wondering, have you asked Loki what her snake is? Ah, I should ask her. Intensa, thank you. Have you considered the turtle might be an enemy stand? It might be. Hognose enthusiast, thank you. I don't know about easy. Mine held a knife for me for more food. Jill, thank you. Looks like we're both getting new pets this year. Currently cycling a tank for a snowflake moray. Whoa. Not a snake, but still a noodle. That's badass. Sarah, thank you. Autistic ass snake, so it's perfect. Person is... wait, no. Flutter Scarlet, thank you. What I like about Hognose is that you can boop it. Roadkill Phil, thank you. What species of snakes have you kept in the past? California king snake was like the first snake I ever owned. Ball python when I was younger. Ball python now. Garter snakes when I was younger. That ringneck snake. I haven't had many snakes that have been truly mine. Now that I think about it. But I've always had snakes, like, in the house and around me. My sister had a corn snake. When my parents had the pet store, we had the red-tailed boa and an indigo snake and a whole fuck ton of others. Not many as impressive as those two, but like, it was a very, very big red-tailed boa that we would sadly feed baby rabbits to. Can't think what else. I guess not that many. I guess not that many snakes. All the OCD, thank you. Once again, chat is wrong morally, factually, and ethically. I just like how pretty Kenyan sand boas are. Grand, thank you. If you get the children's python, will you let it crawl on your mic? I could. Xanatos Jolmon, thank you. Okay, hear me out, please. A lion, a goat, and a snake. Use a stapler, and you have your very own pet chimera. No! Lloyd Shelving, thank you. Buy an adult children's python, name him Lollipapa. Meek Little Mouse, thank you. Do we get to name them too after they win? Yeah. Alvin, thank you. Can you please look up if you can milk a milk snake? You Google it. Potato Radio, thank you. If the Hognose wins, either 𝐿 or Mari for name. Just a thought. Zodiac, thank you. Let it burn, thank you. Seacon is pronounced Seacon, like seek on these nuts. Oh my god. Let it burn, thank you. Wait till I say snakes taste like chicken. No! Rickman, thank you. Hot single snacks in your area. In without an implosion, thank you. Ignore stream, get wild man-eating snake to defend against feed artist. CPPC tag, thank you. My friend's ball python used to curl up in my jacket and chill with me when I was over. He was super sweet. I want a huggy boy, though. All pythons do seem cuddly compared to other snakes. Lucy Huntsman, thank you. No matter the overall poll results, I say get a blood python. They get so fat. What the hell is a blood python? Lux Rocks, thank you. As a former garter snake owner, I would not recommend it. They release a very stinky musk whenever they are held and are spazzes and hate being held. Nobody knows the games, thank you. Have you considered a super dwarf retic? I have not. I don't want a retic. Next Angela, thank you. By the way, the movie was King Cobra and starred Pat Morita and Mr. Miyagi. What the hell? Mr. Miyagi was in it? As a snake wrangler who regularly injected himself with snake venom to develop immunity. What the fuck? I don't think that works. I don't think you can do that. There's like you can develop an immunity to poisons by microdosing poison, but I don't believe you can develop an immunity to venom like that. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it would work. I'm getting mixed answers in chat. It's the other way around. I'm pretty sure it's not the other way around, actually. I'm pretty sure it's not the other way around. Thanks, Angela Ziggy. Crab Ziggy. Half a chat probably saw a king and thought that was the big one. And without implosion, thank you. Blue means poisons. Get that for chat. Crapload missionary, thank you. I gotta say, I'm partial to blue beauties and black rat snakes myself. The garter snakes, black racers. Look up Sabu Python, by the way. Next time. Wait a thank you. Name the hog-nosed Pipossum. Pippa Paladin, thank you. Sorry, didn't think you'd get explosive. Sorry, you didn't get your explosive diarrhea snake. Rivian Asher, thank you. If the hog wins, will you let Mari_Yen pet him if she wants to? Krista, thank you. Have you had beetles as pets? I have not, sadly, even though I'd really like to. Beetles are the lazy man's pets. You really don't have to do much, and they take forever to even hatch when you buy them. At Company Gaming, thank you. There are dry environments tolerant isopod species. Oh, Zico the Regal, thank you. You absolute buffoons. We could have named them Sneed and Chuck. Overdogs, thank you. You need to do snack hand cams now. Thank you, Little Mouse, thank you. Hog no sweep. I knew my boy could do it. At Company Gaming, you plan on keeping it in a tub or enclosure? A proper enclosure. Big Little Mouse, thank you. So what you were saying is you were wrong the entire time besides the hog. Also, what did we get to name them? After we have the actual snake. Person who sold his wife, thank you. Hi Pippa, I finished my job interview now. I think I botched it. As long as you did your best. Daniel's here, thank you. It was a surprise dub, but no one could have predicted. Vibe check, thank you. You think corns and boas would have done better in your bracket if you did specific morphs? Maybe. But isn't that kind of cheating? Bad Company Gaming, thank you. Look forward to the hognose snake reveal. Hell yeah. But we still got the stream of planning out the enclosure. I'm going to do some research into figuring out what exactly hognose care looks like. Shouldn't be too difficult considering they're pretty popular pets. But we'll see. We will see. Alright. I'll see you guys in a little bit over on kick.com/Pippa. Nico Paul, thank you. Name it Hiss or the Gripper if it's a python. Alright. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. My name's Pipkin Pippa! And I will see you in a little bit. Oh, it's so great! Till day bubbles away, till day. Till day bubbles away, till day. Till day bubbles away, till day. I think I might have played this one before, but I already started it, so...
Hours